Can you hear me?
Yo,
Yeah. What's
do
good?
it, dog. What's happening?
Oh
How
no.
you doing?
Oh, I'm chilling. Just end of the day. After this, I need to catch a couple of hours of sleep just to get some life.
I feel you. I feel you, bro. Shit's in a weird place. You know what I'm saying? I was about to you.
What did you say?
I noticed something.
Mm.
How you, how you always wearing, how you always wearing like sweaters and shit? You live in Houston, bro. It's not even-
that's actually good that somebody noticed. Nah,
like, bro,
nah,
y'all ain't dealing with gold.
nah, it's never cold down here, man. I'm just doing it to show support to y'all up north. You know, freezing your asses off.
You one of them niggas that's like, y'all know y'all look good in sweaters and shit, so y'all don't care if y'all hot. Y'all just like, that shit fresh. I'm gonna just rock the joint. It's part of an aesthetic. You know what I'm saying?
Birdman hand rubbing on that.
It's like, dog, do what you gotta do, man, nigga. You do what you gotta do.
Now, because of the summer, I keep the AC like extra low.
Yeah.
On some dumb shit, but you know, it's Houston, Texas. It gets hot.
Yeah.
Even the birds are hot. Summertime on top of it.
Man.
So, but I mean,
y'all place is hot for no reason.
I promise. A couple years ago, my father came over here to visit, and I told him on the phone, like, dudes, like, birds have to hide in the shade in the summer over here. He didn't believe me. Then he came, and there was like, I think it was a light post, and the birds were aligned on the shade line of the light post just to get some.
That's fucking wild.
I promise you, man.
That's wild to see.
And then
That's wild to see.
and then when people tell you that, oh, you know, isn't it hotter in Africa? I'm like, child, please.
Nigga, it's respectfully hot. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you can't just do this to people, bro, like that. I was in Houston for summer. I was like, I would never choose to live here. If I gotta be here for money, it's one thing. I gotta be here for family, it's one thing. But I would never choose to live in Houston. Forget about that.
Now it's kind of low key though. It's kind of a chill ass place. I mean, I to be honest, I get the same feeling when I go up north. Like not everywhere up north. Like I've been to Portland, Oregon, not too long, a few years back, and that was actually really cool. Like everything's green. The weather, I mean, it rains most of the year, but the weather is nice. Like there's some culture, a couple of weirdos running around, so it keeps everything fun. Whereas like in the DC area, since it's like being out there feels like being in old America, man.
Word.
Like your buildings are old, your apartments are extra small. Like, damn.
We're doing our best. We are doing our best. You know, we gotta host the president, man. Like, what y'all think it's an easy job? Ooh, you're gonna have to cut that out the video, my nigga.
This man is handling some business while handling.
You know what I'm saying? Hey man, niggas gotta live, man. I'm ethically non-monogamous. You know what I'm saying? Nah, but it's gonna be it's gonna be an interesting summer.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, let's talk about that. You're about to you're about to set the next few months on fire for what I heard last time.
Man, like as the bitch says, be about famous. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm about to, I said we did a freestyle, with Will. Are we doing this in French or in English? What's the word?
Bro, whatever works for you, man.
Because I don't know I don't know what your audience is, man. Like,
dude, first of all, my audience is whoever the fuck I decide it is. No, but I'm playing around. Just do you, bro? Like these people are not paying.
Yeah, if it's mostly French speaking motherfuckers, we gotta show them some love, and speak French and all that.
Please. They need to learn English. Like they need to do.
Yeah, we are integrating the Commonwealth.
Hey.
I'm gonna be, you know what? People like us are gonna be a very valuable asset, like
You know what I'm saying? That's for real. Like connect the country to the Commonwealth.
Dog. They will call us and be like, yo, this nigga speaking Zebby and shit, man. I don't know what to do about this. I would appreciate it if you would, Nah, but yeah, it's I'm wearing sunglasses inside because I've been drinking too much the past 4 days.
So it's sweaters for me and shades inside for you. I see how it is, man.
Look, man, I had more tequila than I thought I was going to have. I had more tequila, whiskey, and beer than I thought I was going to have the past few days. Lights hurt my eyes,
Yes.
Sorry, I also look good while I'm wearing the things. I'm not trying to do that. That was not my original intention.
Sorry if I look good for no reason.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the shit just happened. Sometimes I'll be walking by the mirror and, so I surprise myself. I'm like, wow. You know what? You're doing your thing, man.
The sauce is just too natural.
It's just dripping. It's just dripping out.
Dripping like extra sauce.
It's just dripping out. I try to contain it. It doesn't work. It's incredible. No, but yeah, I have a few. I'm working on a few releases this summer. Like,
oh yeah. I think you said something about like dropping a song at the beginning of every month, right? Until October.
Yes. Yeah, I'm dropping a video at the beginning of every month until October. Yeah. So I mean, what that really means is that I have a lot of music to release, but I wanna create a conversation around things because people have heard a lot of music from me, but they haven't seen my face a lot,
Yeah.
And I'm not horrible. I'm not a horrible person to look at. So I'm gonna show you my face once a month, until October.
With shades and all.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even wear shades. And this is actually protective gear for other people because if people look in my eyes, then they might get.
You never know. Some people might.
Yeah, that should have put you in a trance. Yeah, that should have put you in a space, So after watching some of the videos, I was like, I gotta stop letting people look in my eyes like this. They're gonna be charmed and shit, so I'm gonna start wearing shades.
Hey, but it could be a look though. To be honest.
What, the shades?
Yeah.
What am I, Stevie Wonder? Like,
no.
He had a reason to wear them.
Yeah. But I'm thinking of because me, it's always about. I mean, this is America. I'm a capitalist at the highest level, and I mean, when I'm looking at artists, because I've been talking to a few of you, just trying to see what is it that can be created to add value to what you guys are doing, or like what are the different opportunities that need to be considered in making an artist from Gabon like seriously dominate the game, if that is possible. So I've been
Yeah.
thinking a lot about branding. Just every time I'm looking at you guys, looking at the music, looking at what you're doing, I'm thinking, okay, there are this guy could work with this streetwear brand, or oh yeah, she wears her hair like that. She could wear it with this artist, or just trying to see how things can be put together. Like I see a lot of artists back home don't work on their branding, their image. Like it's just whatever it is goes. When really, I mean, besides the music, you're selling the image big time.
Yeah. 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 You're right. You're right about that. And I don't know how I don't know how much attention, I really have to spend on image, even though I should do that more. That's part of what the effort is for the summers, to actually, um, give people something that's worth looking at. For so long, I was just, focused on uh, making good records and figuring out how to make good records more than anything, because the thing that I'm most focused on, and that will always be uh, my main, um, my priority. There it goes, words. The thing that would always be my priority is to give people music that's worth listening to.
Yeah.
You know, I the music I listen to is part of the, that's some of the most important time in my days, my weeks. Music helps me get through and over so much that when I give people records, I give them the records with, the hope and the expectation that it can do something like that for them. So for a really long time, my focus was to get the records to a place where it does that.
Yeah.
I get messages from people who I know, like on a personal level, tell me, oh, this is what this song did for me at that time. This is like, when art becomes, useful as a tool, because if they can process their life through what I do, then it's like, okay, I'm doing something that's worth doing now. Now I know I'm doing something that's worth listening to. And I'm in a phase where I want to give people stuff that's worth looking at now, but I don't want to do it in a way that's too, I don't want to give myself, like, like I would say it in French, or like, c'est du genre. Like, that's not what I'm trying to do. I want, I'll give you I'll focus on the visual storytelling to give you something that's worth looking at for the same reasons that my music is worth listening to, because it's a way for us to connect on a human level, but, on a larger scale. And that's part of what I want to accomplish this summer, with the visual. The visuals from this summer are an introduction to what is going to be my visual aesthetic, in the long run. And when I say an introduction, I really mean an introduction, because we're going to do so much more than whatever it looks like right now. This is just to let you know, okay, we're getting into that side of things now, and we want to do it well. So whatever you're seeing right now, coming from me, coming from Pascal, coming from Carl Ducaga, who I'm working on one of the videos, with, coming from Regis, who I've worked with, kind of coming from Easy or Junior, J Raw, I feel like this is all introductory work. Like, it's only going to get better from there. This is just letting you know, hey, this is how hard we're willing to work on this. That's what it does. That's what it's doing. This is who I am. This is what I look like now, because the music is, this is who I am, and the visuals of that, this is what I look like. Maybe in the next few videos I'll be wearing shades too, and I'll work hard to give you art that's worth experiencing. That's the statement that I want to make this summer. This is art that you should invest in, because I'll always be working the hardest to give you art and a human experience, that'll be worth remembering or worth taking with you for the rest of
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if we're talking about the only about the art, to be honest, at least from my extra naive standpoint, you got what it takes talent wise. But what I always try to emphasize when I'm talking to friends who are in the music business is who, let me see if I can frame this question properly. Who's your team? Like who's taking care of your business, the business of Ya Minko as a business, not as an artist? Who's taking care of that? Do you have a team that you've put together for that?
I'm taking care of Ya Minko for now. I'm taking care of everything that has to do with Ya Minko for now. And the closest thing I have to a team are the ones of my friends who are willing to help with everything I do because they believe in it. And if I'm gonna have a team, of people, they need to at least be people who are willing to go hard on this more than my friends are.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You see what I'm saying? So part of what's happening this summer, the goal is to get that team. Is to get to a place where it's like, okay, because first of all, attract funding, because operations needs funding. So to attract funding, and with that funding to start talking about like a more serious team. I have people I work with and people who help with what I do, out of sheer, belief, where they're like, hey, I'll help you out. The rest of it, like, I'll do myself. Most of what I do that has to do with my music, I do myself, from recording to mixing to releasing the songs to trying to figure out rollouts and promo plans and things of that nature. I have my strengths and my weaknesses at every step, of that process. But one thing that I want for sure is that once we start talking about a team, we're not just throwing that word around.
Oh hell.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
how you had like the school projects and you had
yeah.
I mean, it's okay when you have maybe one person who ain't doing enough, but in most of the real world, like, you can find yourself being the only one who's doing the stuff that needs to be done.
Exactly.
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 That nonsense is not fun at all. And I mean, I understand. I mean, I understand the path that not that I understand, but I can relate to the path that you're trying to walk, because just the whole creative process and distribution of your art and monetizing it, it's so much for one person to do. And I understand this is probably the problem for every independent artist back home. It's probably the reason people just give up, because it's so much to do. If you have to find the inspiration to make the music, produce the beat, mix it, do the promo and all that stuff, like, it's just not enough time for one person to make I don't know if it's possible for one person to make a comfortable living that way. I mean, it's possible, but because there's this DJ, for example, that I listen to on YouTube. His name is Mark Rubier or something, and he basically just plays with his looping machine and puts like different tracks on there and just freestyles. All his performances are freestyles, and he makes his money off the super chats and a couple of events before the COVID and all that. And his operation is at least from what it seems, it's a one-man show, but he probably needs an agent, a booking agent, a business manager, like a touring manager, like all that good stuff. And it's in that sense where I'm not. The more I listen to your music, like, I've been bumping your music every day, no joke. Like, that's even how I found Duncy. That's how I found like the guys from I mean, we spoke to the guys from PLC on during the last Veye, but
the last Willy Live,
exactly. But I mean, I listened to a couple of the snippets, but it took me some time as I was doing research and just trying to connect with people. And I just,
Yeah.
I was listening to your music and found that feature that you did. And then I started listening to to everybody in their label. And I'm just like, I mean,
They're amazing.
Dude, I don't know what's going on over there. They just need somebody who's like, I don't know anything about distribution, but if they can find the proper distribution deal, that label is, whoever is going to finance that label is going to make a killing. Everybody is talented.
No questions.
Like, everybody is talented. The production is fire. Like, even the concept songs are nice. Legitimately, I was with a few American friends, like African American friends, for the last few days, and I was listening to that Dancy and your song, Gauche Droite. And I promise you, these American people who've never heard of you guys were dancing on that shit. Like they were trying to pronounce like the words in the hook and shit. And I just sat back thinking to myself, like, and these guys only have like 100 and a couple hundred and a couple thousand subscribers. Like, this thing that just doesn't add up. Like, there needs to be more effort marketing your stuff, like promoting. I understand Gabon is a small place. I understand. But you guys, the music that I've been listening to, at least so far, is beyond the country. It's beyond the country. And if this is you guys in your early 20s, mid 20s, damn, like, wait till these people are in their 30s, like, have actual budgets behind their projects, like have machines behind them. It's going to be crazy. But the fact that and you see, it goes back to the conversation of the elders don't get it. Because if they got it, man, somebody would know that he could make big money off of just pushing you guys' career, at least. But then again, what do I know? I've been talking shit for a long time.
The reality is that, it takes time. And
true.
It takes the time it takes to make the stuff. And then it takes the time it takes to get it noticed, and I feel like it's so important to both to be quick but not hasty. Every year, that I look back on a summer where I was like, damn, I really hope things work out. I would like every year that I've wanted to have like something that was anything like a hit or like something big, where I'm like, this is gonna be a hit record that does this and that for me. Every year I've had that going on. The year after, I was like, okay, I'm glad it didn't happen as fast as I actually wanted it to. Like, I'm super happy I didn't get insane amounts of attention as a 24-year-old or as a 23-year-old, because I remember who I was as a 24-year-old and as a 23-year-old. That that person was not ready. That person didn't know what they wanted out of this, what it involved to even get the recognition and the success level, and the attention that comes with the platform. It's a lot of power. It's a lot of power, and now I feel like when it does come to me, I'll have a different perspective on what to do with it. Because this is never just about us. At least for me, it isn't. The part of me that wanted to be famous so I could stroke my ego on a daily basis with 100,000 plus, people buying records, following the music and this and that and the other. Like that part of me is almost non-existent now. You know, the attraction to fame is not the same. And I feel like it'll give me a shot. Of course, no one's ready for what happens when it happens, but it'll give me a better shot at dealing with that well, you know, when it's finally in my hands, you know, because it's bigger than me, you know. I've been listening to the remix version of Power, you know, the one with the Jay-Z verse on it. And you know, I think the line "No one man can have all this power" is it's a great line. Like I don't think anyone should. I don't think anyone can. You'll go nuts. And if it's what you want, if it's what you're after, it will destroy you. Now I'm more interested in what I can do. Like once I get the platform, you and I just had a conversation from the perspective of that platform and the conversations we had before. What can we do? You and I just made a record. I have the platform now. From the perspective of the platform and the conversation we had around that record, what can we do now? You told me you were starting a label. You told me this. You like, now I've had all these conversations with all those people and we can talk about what to do next. The platform is going to be about what to do next. Like we're talking about a problem like, you know, artists like the ones in PLC having all this talent, like, because it's them, it's a machine what they're doing. You know, them and Pascal that's like managing them and doing, you know, most of their recording and mixing. Like they're such a great family, you know. So, but we haven't answered questions like, what do we do about artists like them? Now I get the platform, we'll get to talk about that too, you know. So that's where, you know, that's where there's a difference between me. If I had gotten anything 4 to 5 years ago, you're gonna have a lot of work to do with these subtitles, man, because you're gonna have to subtitle this in French. But that's the difference between me like 3 to 4 or 5 years ago. Like there was a part of me that felt a connection to people, but didn't understand the importance of, you know, putting that first in a lot of ways, and where I am now. See, I want enough money to make my music and not have to worry about bills and shit. Like that's what I want. I want to be able to live the life I want in like as many ways as I can think of it as possible. But more than that, on top of that, at the core of that, I want to be able to work hard on improving every aspect of every community I'm in touch with.
Mm.
From my friends to my family to my blood relatives to the people who share a nationality with me to the people who are my artistic community to eventually the extended like human community that we are. And the importance of that mission is what tells me or what makes me feel like it wouldn't make sense for me to get more, because I need more to give as much as I want to give.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's like it makes me think of for the longest time I hated money. Like truly.
Yeah.
It's not even that I hated money. Like to even now, like I have a very I have not a distaste. I respect money. I respect it for the powerful tool that it is. But what I hate is not money, but the way it changes people. Mm-hmm. Right. So for me, it's always been about like you like and in many ways, I think that's what you're saying is making enough to solve the problems around you that are solvable through that money. Like at least not just the money, but the resources that you're going to build over time. Because this is one of the things that I believe most of us don't pay attention to. Like the wealth that you're building over the years is not just a wealth made in money. It's a wealth in relationship, knowledge, it's spiritual, it's mental. So
Yeah.
it's like being able to be a richer person in so many dimensions and able to share that. Like I can definitely relate to that feeling. Now, let me warn you, it's not like I ever did that before, but I can tell
Yeah.
you, trying to be the Messiah gonna get you fucked up. So
I don't want to be the Messiah. I just want to do my part. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, no,
Like,
I can respect that definitely.
it's like why we have this whole thing fucked up, because we always want to put it on one person and give them way too much credit. You know, I
Oh,
do the part I can do, and then you'll do the part you can do, and then, like, you know, we'll follow each other. That's why we have concepts like democracies, where we are aware of the fact that no one person can be the center of that kind of attention for too long. Like, it'll get to your head, you'll make mistakes, you'll, like, it's, you know, I want to have a life, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be able to, motherfucking, like, you know, go out and, you know, see my friends, you know, like, spend a few weeks, you know, just like not doing shit, but like being with who I love and just fucking
yeah,
drink and
but
fuck. You know?
I know. I mean, it's something like the closer I get to this thing where everybody start noticing you, girls start smiling at you for no reason, the closer I get to it, right? The more I'm like, I mean, I've always known that I didn't want it, but it's a means to an end. But I don't believe that it can be turned off the way that you're saying that that you might want to, like, you know, like, let's
Yeah,
say,
yeah,
God, all praise to God, you are a
yeah.
multiple international award-winning. I mean,
Multi-billion
oh,
dollars.
I'm saying,
Oh my God,
sir,
is he even real?
women are giving your name to their children, my man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you are that level.
It's a great name to give. By the way, as a
I'm just
parenthesis,
saying.
I'll say it's a great name to give. Keep going.
You know, you're at that level, but in a way, this is what I'm afraid of when it comes to any game. To not become
Yeah,
to not become prisoner of the game. Like that's what I find out happens a lot with fame in music, fame. I mean, fame in almost any field. After a while, like, even though you see yourself as a regular person, people around you won't treat you as a regular person. And even
yeah,
you trying to act as a regular person might not be to your advantage. You know,
yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
you're
And
choosing a
you
hard
know,
sacrifice.
that's why I'm gonna have to get a therapist. You know? 'Cause, like, I genuinely believe that, and I'm gonna come back to what you said. I genuinely believe that for every important stage of life, people should have therapy. Like, when you graduate high school, there should be like a therapy check. Like, just be like, where are you right now? Who you are. When you graduate college, same thing. Holy shit. If people were open about that shit, when you lose your virginity, you should see a therapist. Like, with like I really feel like it's, you know, so for that, I feel like at every important point, like when you make your first $1 million, you gotta go see somebody about that shit, man. Like, 'cause
Yeah.
you'll go crazy. Like, your ass will go crazy, you know. Like, we need people to, you know, because when something, like, we don't we don't treat our mental health like we treat our physical health. I think that's a mistake. Um, when anything at all, when anything that shakes you up happens, you'll go for a checkup. You know, you gotta get your shots. You know, after a certain amount of time, you know, you go for a regular checkup at the doctor. Well, some people do go for a regular checkup at the doctor. If you've been in a car crash, you're gonna see if you had a concussion. You know, you get your tooth hurts, you go see the doctor. You got a little headache, you go see the doctor. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you can afford it, you're gonna go see the doctor. You know, but we don't have that reflex when it comes to our mental health, even though it's the thing that's, you know, that's regulating everything else. So I really feel like at every important moment in people's life, they should go see someone who professionally can tell you where you are mentally, and how this might affect you, and how you might want to prepare for this, you know. So going back to what you were saying, I think once things start looking more like, because my life has been complicated for a long time now, you know. So once things start like being stable again, once like I have the kind of, emotional, financial, artistic, social, career stability, you know, that I've been looking for, it's not going to be stability. It's going to be a lot at once. That's going to shake me up, because I'm going to go from having very little to having so much. And 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 when that happens, I need someone to help me deal. So that's what I'll do, and that's going to be part of the effort, to just keep me as centered, as possible.
I saw that before you left home, you posted these pictures of I think it was actually for Mother's Day. You posted the
Yeah,
pictures of your grandmothers and your mother.
yeah.
I think you can save on the therapist money and just, buy all the matriarchs a house once in a while. They'll get you right.
Yeah, yeah. No, they help where they can. They'll help where they can.
Oh,
I think they
definitely.
I think they always will. I think if I got to when I talk to my mom, it's always an interesting, experience to just get her perspective on things, and it's such a loving conversation. At the same time, I feel like, it's a lot to ask of, uh, people who aren't trained to do this.
Oh yeah.
Like it's a lot to ask. You're asking them questions, and they'll answer to with what they have and what they know, but there's only so much they can tell you. That will be like asking for financial advice to a family member just because they pay their rent. It's like there's only so much they're going to be able to tell you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, yeah, I've paid bills for the past
Your
20 years, but I'm
mattress.
sorry. Exactly, but I'm sorry, I can't tell you what to do about your $1 million.
I mean, one of the like I have like one of the there's many reasons that pushed me to, for example, start like this whole podcast thing. One of them is the fact that I just talk too much. So let's just start making some money off of that. But the big part is that I hope that over time I do get the chance to talk to some of the elders. Like, I don't believe all of them are misguided. I think there's still
Yeah,
a few good teachers out there. And I want to get the chance to be able to talk to those people who have experience, who've gone
yeah,
through like those dark moments, to not to at least have them as advisors. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, uh, one of the things that as a teenager, like when the hormones kick in and you start losing it, I remember it was just talking to elders. Like, I couldn't talk to my father, like I just said, oh, talk to your mother and stuff. Like, there's things you can't just be open about with your family members,
yeah,
because
yeah,
it's just that deep. Like, you don't want to change the way they look at you.
yeah,
But I had the opportunity to like talk to uncles or friends of the family, but who were mature, respected, who were either I'm from a family. My father's a teacher, so
right.
I've been around.
So is my mom.
Nice. So I've been around a lot of educators. So there's they take a certain care to teach other people's children, but when it comes to like the children in those circles, like, they take this extra care, and they've taken the time to, like, when I was a teenager, get my mind right, and that has motivated me now at this time to seek these elders. Because, dude, I mean, you've been in the States for a couple of years. You know how, like, you can just burn out and want to just throw the towel in and just say, fuck this shit, man. You know how it is.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Of
You
course,
really need
of course.
somebody to talk to.
And I mean, you need a few people. You need You need an emotional support system, you know, and thankfully I have that. That's a thing. That's a thing that I wake up and, you know, that I'm grateful for. I'm very loved. I'm very loved, and I'm very cared like for. I have people who care about me and who take care of me to the best of their ability every day, you know, and that's from, you know, conversation to anything I need help with, to just like quality friendship, which is the most important thing, you know. Uh, None of us, not a single one of us, is actually as easy to deal with as we think we are. Uh, so, so when people actually are willing to spend that kind of energy on you, like that's something special, and I'm very grateful for that, because that is something I have. You know, I don't have to think twice about who I would call if I was feeling a certain way. I can make that call. I can always make that call. I always have someone to call. I always have someone to go for it. You know, and they'll give me the answers they have, just like they know I'll give them the answers I have if they do call me. Um, and I think that's crucial, because there was a time when I didn't really, you know, have that. Not just because people weren't available, but because I didn't know how to act on that availability. You know, I didn't know how to be properly vulnerable, how to properly explain, you know, the kind of pain I was feeling, or when I was distraught, or when I felt despair, or you know, just, you know, the times when you feel like you're quite literally losing your shit. I didn't know how to express that without feeling like a lesser person. Because
Yep.
at first I thought it was something where I was trying to, you know, where I wasn't trying to burden them. And I know there's a little bit of that. Of course, there's always a little bit. You care about your people and you don't want them to, you know, have to deal with more than what they're already dealing with. But I think a lot of it is shame. You know, you carry a certain amount of shame because you feel like you should be able to figure out the things you're not figuring out.
Yes, sir.
You know, and I was there. I've been there for so long. Like, part of me is still there. Like, it'll take me the longest to ask for help because I'm like, I should be able to figure this out. But thankfully, you know, now I not only have, you know, people who would be willing to get involved, willing to listen, willing to help if there was anything. I also have people who constantly remind me that it's important for me to reach out. Just like you said, you know, sometimes call them up, sometimes like da 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 da. Like, I have friends who tell me, "Hey, call me. Hey, let me know. Hey, like, you know," and that's something special. My dad, I was in the car with him. Um, we were driving back from Derrière la Prison in Libreville, we were going back to Akanda, and we were just, you know, talking about life and shit, which is a thing that I got to do with him a lot while I was there. And I'm thankful for it, because we weren't always able to have these conversations. And he told me the mistake we make a lot of times is that we believe that the height of social maturity is independence. Well, that's not the case. The height of social maturity is healthy interdependence. And, you know, that shit stuck with me. And I was just sitting there, I was like, damn, nigga, you spit. Like,
Hey, I just might write a quote and put your face right next to that and say Daddy told them.
for real.
That's deep. That's deep.
Yeah.
That's deep.
Yeah. Yeah, I sat there and I was like, damn, I am this man's son.
That's deep. Now I can see where the fire ass lines come from.
Like, yeah, you know, like you know, they think about life and stuff. And I sat there and I really do believe that's that. You know, maturity is, you know, comes from understanding, you know, what a healthy balance is between what you can do, and what you know that you can't do, and that you allow, you know, other people to come in for it. in the same ways that they allow you to do the same for them. And if we all do our part, you know, eventually like everything flows well. When you're looking at your keyboard on your computer, not one letter does the other letter's job, you know.
Oh,
You see what I'm saying? Like it's there for a reason that's very specific, you know. But if you're trying to write bonjour, you're not gonna hear from N talking to B about, man, I'm sorry I couldn't come first. You know what I'm saying? Like no, B is right where it needs to be, and the N is right where it needs to be, and the R is last, but the R is not stupid because it's last. It's there for a reason.
yes,
It's
sir.
playing its part. But everything else had to come before it for it to land and to do the thing that's like, okay, we're not saying bonjour, we're saying bonjour. And when you hear that, the word is complete. And that's society. That's everything, you know, that's everything we do. We're all a piece of something bigger. And I realized that a lot of why we don't ask for the help we need when we need it, you know, comes from the fact that we have inflated versions either of our egos or of other people's like egos.
Yeah,
We either feel too small or too big, you
yeah,
know, and it's like, you know, we're all just right here. We're all just this fixed, you know what I'm saying? Like we're all just an element of this much, much bigger picture. And once that becomes the thing, it's like, yeah, I'll function in that network. I understand, like I understand the power and the necessity of community. And just like I'll play my part, you know, I'll allow you to play yours because that's the respect that I owe you. You know.
yeah. The respect part, the, the respect part. That's I think one of the most important ingredient in that interdependency.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, actually, I meant to ask you but now since hearing that what your dad said, I can say that's where the pen come. That might be where the pen comes from. But I wanted to ask you, are you a reader? Like, do you read a lot, or you just think a lot?
Uh, you know, both.
Ah,
Uh, like, you know, just give me 1 second.
we got another one.
Come on, Dad. Come on, dog. Stop this. But nah, I I read. I read a bunch. But I don't read the books that I wish I was reading. Right? I don't have the reading discipline that I should have right now. Like I constantly read a lot of articles. Like that's just like, you know, I'll read like 4 or 5 articles a day at least. And like that's usually on the days I'm being lazy because I like knowing about, like I like knowing more about the things I think I know something about. So articles are like an easily digestible, you know, version of anything you want to read. So I'll read a lot of those. And then you know, when I remember to, and I'm trying to get back into that, I'll read books. I used to read all the time when I was a kid. I would read like a book a week, you know. But you know that a lot of that comes, you know, from how, you know, I was raised. My dad reads a lot. Uh, my dad reads a lot more than I ever have, to be honest. Like I have some catching up to do. And my mom is the same thing. You know, they're Christians, so on top of like the Bible, which they read and meditate on every day, you know, they have everything they read that has to do with like life and development and all these things. And my dad always had like self-development books in the house, like the seven habits of successful people. You know, every people, you know, that it's a bestseller, so you know about that book. You know,
Yeah.
things that have to do with leadership, discipline, like, you know, just like, you know, trying to, you know, grow into a better version of himself. You know, always. And then there's the thinking. You know, I spend a lot of time just thinking. You know, and it's probably what I do the most, to be honest. Just thinking about things, just questioning. You know, who I am, where I am. You know, why I am. You know, why. And then once I'm done with the I, it goes with the we. Why are we? Like, what does this conversation represent? Why is it important for us to have this conversation? What does it do? Where, like, you know, how does this work for us as a society? How does this work for us as a community? If I did something fucked up, why did I just do this? Like, what part of me, what is the part of me that can help it actually do that one thing? How do we fix that? Because if I'm doing this in this scenario, how many other people are doing the same thing and harming each other, like in the process? Like, how do we resolve? So I'm always like, I'm spinning ideas in my head all day. Like, to be honest, I don't even need to have 1,000 conversations with a lot of people. The ones I'm having in my head are keeping me busy, you know. And that's why it's not to say I don't like talking to people. I love it. I need to talk to people. My brain does too much. So when I get to the records, by the time it gets to the songs, like the songs are like a glimpse almost, you know. Like they're a glimpse. I still haven't figured out how to put the full thoughts in the songs. That's the crazy thing. I'm still figuring that out. You know, like I'm still figuring that out.
Okay.
How to put the thoughts I have in the records, you know, effectively. I'm getting there. It gets better by the song, you know, but you know, you'll hear, you know, you'll hear a lot of questioning in my music.
There's a lot of questions, rhetorical questions. Like
Yeah,
for me, wasn't the flow is impeccable. The artistry is
I
nice,
appreciate you.
but
I appreciate you. Thank you.
I take there's like if we take all the music away,
Yeah,
it'll capture my attention, and that's kind of like there's lines in what you're saying. It's just like putting salt on a sauce. Like it's a song, but there's a couple of lines in the songs that just like catch you and make you like if you are I would take a couple sips and a couple some,
yeah.
and be on the balcony and just chill and listen to a song. And it's like when you read a good book or like read a good story, or it's not the entire story that captivates you, but it's these core elements. And like when you're singing, at
Yeah,
least the few songs that I've listened to recently,
yeah,
you'd bring up like this one idea or this other idea that I feel like people really, really, really need to pay attention to, because
yeah,
so
yeah,
much being said in like 2, 3 lines.
yeah, yeah,
For
yeah,
example, I think last time you sent me the audio from the song you're making. And
yeah.
I think the line you told me about is now something about now we only do
Oh, today's just a thing we do now.
exactly today is just the thing we do now. When I tell you that it took me a strong like 12 hours to think about that, just like if today is all that we do now, is it in a carpe diem type of way, like seize the day type of way, or
Yeah,
is it in a just fuck it, we'll just but but it was just so much, so much to unpack, just and it's not
yeah.
just as an idea, but as how it
As a
applies
mindset.
to myself.
Yeah, yeah,
Like for example, this creative thing that we're all doing, right?
yeah,
It's just to be consistent on a daily basis. There are days when you feel zero inspiration. I mean, zero
yeah,
motivation, nothing
yeah,
is there. But
yeah, man.
I just have to like me, it was always a thing of going and I've multiple personas that I've basically created for myself in my head to be able to just stay sane. And the persona that I've created for like the dude that gets shit done, it's
Yeah,
basically he doesn't care about tomorrow. He doesn't care about yesterday. He's like a soldier. He's been told to go from point A to point
to
B.
point B. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what he's going to do, whether it looks good or not. And that mentality, when I tell you it's the only reason why this podcast is still going?
Yeah, nah, that's the key. But that's the key though. That's how you know, and I try to be careful with the war metaphors because you know what soldiers are going through
Oh
only
yeah,
they
hey,
know.
no
But
disrespect, and thank you
yeah,
for your
yeah,
service.
yeah, man, they're doing like you know it takes a different you know so it takes a different kind of human being you know to be able to yeah. But yeah, that's the mindset. It's like there's a thing like you know I don't do it as much. Uh, I used to post a lot more like on Twitter, like little lines, you know. And one of the lines that one of the things that I would post often that came back is one step at a time. That's how. And uh, that's it. I never posted anything before that or anything after that. That's the tweet. Like one step at a time. That's how. And that's the thing that I tell myself because I get to the how the fuck am I gonna do this point all the time. And the answer is always one step at a time. That's how. And when you don't always know where you're going, you know, and you don't have the whole process figured out, that's the only way you'll get where you're going.
Yeah.
It's when you focus on that next step because that next step might take everything out of you. Like it might take all the energy you have in the moment to take that next step, but you have 1,000 more to take. You see what I'm saying? So for each to make those thousands, you're gonna have to put all your energy into that next step every
Yeah.
time. And that's why people give up. You know, I feel like that's why people give up because they start thinking about the 150 steps that they have to take. It's like you have to see that. You have to see where you're going and acknowledge that it's going to be a journey. But very quickly, you have to bring it back to where you are right now. What is the thing that I can and must do right now? And it's to do that. Like that's why, and a lot of the music that's going to come out is going to have to do with that too. Because, for example, the project I have with Ricky is called "To Live Another Day," you know, and it's the same, you know, it's the same, you know, mindset. That's like I don't have to have all the answers right now. I know two things. I know where I'm going and I know where I am. Make it three with where I came from.
Mm-hmm.
But what I need to do now is to keep moving forward. So that's what I do through anxiety, through depression, through my own mistakes, through circumstances, through all these things. It's like I don't know what the fuck is going on, but I know one thing is I can put that foot in front of the other one. I know I can do that. If I can't do anything else, I know I can do that. And that's why I don't give up. That's why I don't give up on that's why I have that's why it's so difficult even for me to give up on anything that I've decided to believe in, whether it has to do with my career, whether it has to do with love when I'm in the middle of it, you know, whatever it has to do with, you know, even my relationship, you know, like all these things, like whatever it is, it's that I remember that the only way out of what you're dealing with is to keep putting one foot after the other. And the second you stop doing that, the second you forget, it'll break you
Oh yeah.
because it's that strong, because the process is strong.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's this motivational speaker. I think you probably heard of him, Les Brown. He tells
Yeah, the name feels familiar.
he
Yeah.
tells the story of this kid who goes into he's with his grandfather, I believe, and he goes into the bush and he sees this, you know, before the butterflies come out the cocoon, how they have to struggle, and he sees like this moth trying to struggle out of the cocoon to become a
Mm-hmm.
butterfly. And his idea as a kid is, oh, let me take my knife and make a little cut. That way he will come up more easily. Uh, the moth just comes out and falls to the ground. And Les Brown says he's neither a moth nor a butterfly. He's just
Yeah.
this weird thing. And the kid runs to his grandfather and asks, like, Granddad, why won't the butterfly, the moth fly? and he said, what did you do? Oh no, I cut a little slit in the cocoon. And the grandfather said, ah, there's the mistake. Because you see, when the butterfly has to struggle to come out of that cocoon, it pushes all the fluids into its wings.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way for that moth to become a butterfly is through the struggle. So
Yep.
embrace your struggle.
Yep. Yep.
And
Yep.
that's what I think about. I mean, at least I try to think about when my head is in a good space
Yeah.
on a
Yeah.
daily basis. Like I think it's the same thing in Christianity when they tell you to carry your cross, you know, like
Yeah.
take on your responsibility,
Yeah.
whatever dream you choose to chase, like take on the cross of that. I think that's what a lot of that for a couple of years now, I've stopped praying about blessings. Like
Yeah.
I don't ask God for blessings at all anymore. Simply because for me it's been this thing where I have to understand the responsibilities that come with the blessing first.
Yeah.
It's like you have these girls at church asking for a child, or asking for a husband, but they're not ready for the responsibility to either be a mother or a wife. You know what I'm saying? So the blessing actually becomes, even though God gave you a great thing, it actually becomes like this curse in your life because you have not prepared yourself to receive.
Yeah.
And it's the
That's
same.
how.
Yeah,
That's
go
also
ahead.
how people. That's also how people get in relationships too early. You know,
Yeah.
because it's like you think you want you want what you've seen other people get out of relationships. You don't want a relationship. You know, like that's
You're speaking to some of the ladies who are watching my show.
not just the ladies. That's men and women. You know, a lot of people
Bro.
don't have the emotional maturity to be like niggas lie all the time, talking about like, yeah, I want you to be my wife, and I want you to like this, that, and the other, and then a year after you're cheating. It's like, dog,
Bruh.
go finish fucking, bro. Like, why are you trying to get in? Like,
Get the rest of your system.
yeah, get it out of your system. What the fuck are you doing? Like, go do the thing that you really want to do. You know, it's because we confuse um what we see and what we want with like where we are. You know, the reality, and like if I take the example of relationships, there are a lot of relationships that end simply because they started too early. You know, like it's you were supposed to leave that alone for a little bit. You know, there was still a lot of growth that needed to happen on both sides. There was still like maybe it could be anything. It could be
But she was
anything
looking
from
too
rich
good, brother. She was looking too good.
from like yeah. I mean, I don't even. That's the thing. I don't even think. I mean, I hope niggas don't fall for looks. You know, because like
And first of all, let's stop this conversation right
like
here for a
I'm dead
second.
ass.
Are you saying are you questioning whether niggas is falling for looks or not? Like this is
I
the
mean,
first thing
you
niggas is
can't.
falling for.
I mean, your ass can't fall in love with looks, bro. Like you can't fall in love with
What?
looks,
Dude
or
is
you shouldn't. I,
you shouldn't. That's the right thing to say.
yeah, maybe
But
you don't. You know what I'm saying? Like,
niggas is selling their souls over a couple. Like think about
oh
the
man,
okay. Think about the number of people you know, right? Who you believe would give up their right testicle for a night with Rihanna.
these niggas crazy.
You know, there's a few of them.
Yeah, I know it's a few of them, and I think these niggas crazy. Like, I think these niggas crazy. I swear to God, no. There is a limit to how much worth I would put on a sexual encounter with someone that I find really attractive. Like, there's a threshold. Like, you know how some niggas is like, yeah, I would throw away my whole fucking relationship for like a week with Rihanna or like a night with Rihanna, and I'm just like, y'all niggas, you don't even know her, bro. You might link up with Rihanna, and it's unlikely that you're gonna link up with Rihanna and not like her. But you might link up with her and have like a 15 minutes conversation with her, and you're like, damn, I actually don't fuck with you. It's like, what do we do then? There
But
she is. There it goes. Because on the other end of this, at the end of the day, like this is a real person. at the end of the day, people are just people. Like Rihanna is a super talented person and a mogul, but at the core of that is just another human being. And that's always like what stays on my mind, where it's like falling in love with looks is a dangerous thing, because it's like throwing money at something just because it sounded like, you know, it would be a profitable investment. You know, it's
like I don't know. I know up north over there it's better to take the train, but down south here, what you learn quickly is that the good looking car might not be a good car for you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like, and it's not the car's fault for being beautiful. It's your fault for not checking the engine.
Bruh,
You
facts.
you could have went and checked. You could have went and checked that out. You could have went and made sure the engine what was you were looking for was what you were looking for.
Facts.
But you didn't, because the car was beautiful. You just bought it.
She was selling that pretty face. You didn't try to figure out if she had a brain.
Yeah, it's the same as, and the crazy thing is that, like, you know, we're used to see. It's some niggas out there, you know what I'm saying? You know, when you have, like, you know, when you have money or looks or both, you know, you also get the kind of attention that we're used to thinking of, you know, women getting. And believe me, they make the same mistake goes both ways. People will invest. Oh yeah, people will invest everything on a person that looks like they fit the stereotype they have in mind for their most attractive you know.
I mean, girls, I think I don't know. I don't know for fact, but I think girls probably fall for this more often than dudes. Like I know a bunch of, now you guys can't fight me, and if you try to fight me, this is America, 911, bitch. I know a bunch of niggas who are out here like tricking bitches on the daily basis. I mean, these girls think the dudes they're dating have like jobs and have this and that. I mean, you know, he went to the club with a Versace shirt, a Rolex watch, and maybe rented a Mercedes. Guess what? One of these beautiful, smart women is about to act like she got zero IQ.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's.
But
it's human.
But that's the and that's, you know, when people fall for shit like that, I always tell them it's all right if you fall for it once or twice. Like, it'll happen. It's fair. It happens to the best of us. Look,
oh hell yeah.
A trickster is good at their job. If a nigga's out there to trick people, he's gonna trick one or two. You know, that's gonna happen. It's what they do. You know, you just have to, you know, have the discipline to walk when it's time to walk, or to let go when it's time to let go. Because at the end of the day, we walk around all trying to satisfy an ideal. You know, that guy, for example, at the club that's wearing a Versace shirt, even though he doesn't have anything to, you know, call his, he's trying to fit into an ideal he has of what it means to be a man and have a lifestyle that makes sense. And the person that's going to fall for that person is trying to fit that person into an ideal for, you know, who the perfect guy is supposed to be and what there's like, you know what I'm saying? So it's really this thing where it goes back to what I was saying earlier with the Rihanna example, you know, and if this ever becomes a thing, I'm not trying to talk shit about Rihanna. I'm just using the Rihanna example because
we still want the music.
Billions of people are infatuated with Rihanna.
We want the feature, not
she's
the
dead
love.
ass, like she's dead ass like this almost this walking divinity, you know, and people, and that's how people perceive her. But it's like on the other end of the ideal version of this person you have is another human being. Always. And that's the thing that we need to always remember, because when you start interacting with people on a human level, some things don't fly. Some things stop making sense. If I'm talking to you right now and you're wearing like a Versace shirt and you have a Rollie on one arm and like you're wearing like a $200,000 necklace, that only means something if that's what I'm looking at you as, if that's all I am seeing. But if I'm looking past these things and I'm like, who are you? Like, who's you, the person? then we're having a different conversation. Then the jewels don't matter as much. Then the looks don't matter. And when you get to that conversation, you can see.
Yeah.
And the reason why people get tricked a lot is because they're not looking. You're not really looking at who you're talking to. You're looking at how physically appealing they are. You're looking at how much money they can flaunt. You're looking at how rich they look. You're looking at how potentially, like, for example, you think about something like sexual attraction, right? It's the weirdest thing. If you're attracted to someone for their physical beauty, right, and you end up in a bedroom with them, how many times is that actually going to be an interesting sexual experience for you? A lot of times that shit is going to suck.
Starfish entertainment.
A lot of time that shit is gonna suck because you never even took the time to figure out if you had any chemistry with that person. You see what I'm saying? Like, because two things are happening. If you end up with someone in a room and they're not doing anything to like do what you to get to where you are, you know, they might, first of all, they might not be as into you as you think they are, which makes me question why they're there in the first place. Second, you might want to check that they actually want to do this, because you got to make sure this shit is like, you know, like if I'm dealing with someone who's not into the thing, like eventually I just be like, yo,
that's creepy.
You want to just not do anything? Because like we can also do that. We can just motherfucking chill. Like it doesn't have to be anything, you know. And then number three is like, you know, did y'all even build the, you know, the level of, you know, raw connection that it takes to actually make this an interesting experience?
But that's not what we do anymore nowadays, right? Like if you try to be that person, like some girls will call you gay, my bro.
It's not even a long process, bro. That shit is not even a long process.
But you'd be surprised.
That shit works with one night stands too, bro. Like it's a little vibe check. It's just a little vibe check. That's all. Like it's just a vibe check. I don't want to fucking do anything with you if it's gonna be a boring ass, annoying ass experience that neither one of us wants to be there for. You go home, I go home. End of the story. Like,
or we can play, or we can play Uno, bitch.
Like we can do a number of things. You know what I'm saying? Like we could just leave. We don't have to be here. We don't have to. Even if we thought we were gonna be physically attracted to each other, if it gets to a place where we're like, where the vibe is just not, we could just leave that alone. You know, like that's.
Let me give the ladies this public service announcement.
Y'all always giving the ladies public service announcements they don't need. So I'm curious about this one.
Straight from my village.
Oh, God.
My elders said, stop talking shit and come and get into this polygamous relationship.
Oh my God. Niggas talk that shit, but they can't handle polygamous relationships. So would
what? You see? If my elders knew you were about to say some bullshit. They froze your internet.
No, but like, hold on, you froze for a second, so I don't know what you were saying.
My elders knew you was about to talk some shit.
Would you be able to do it both ways? That's the real question.
What both ways? Like, what both ways, bro?
Both ways is since we're talking about, you know, poly relationships.
Bro,
you're like, here, you're one of many, and I'm one of many. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no.
Would you be able to do that?
You see,
would you be able to do that?
I call that a sex network. You feel me?
That's not a sex network. They're not all having sex with each other.
It's a sex and emotional network. I am a dictator. I run my domain.
You better find people who are down to do this shit then. See, I gotta protect, like if I have kids, y'all the people I gotta protect them from. You know what I'm saying? Because there ain't no way I'm gonna tell. Look, if I ever have kids, you know, and I get to be blessed enough to be a father and be good at it, that's one of the things I'm gonna tell them, man. Anybody asks you to be in anything, you ask them if they'd be willing to do the same shit for you. If they say no, you don't do that shit. You don't do it. You don't do it. So if I have a daughter for example, that turns out to be straight and into guys, and she ends up with someone who's asking her to be in some polished shit, I'll be like, well, are you allowed to fuck other niggas too? Because if that's not the case, then you shouldn't take that deal.
You see, hey, congratulations to the ladies that make it work for them. But over here, I'm the only one enjoying multiple things. Okay.
See, but you mean like that's where y'all miss out.
No, it's simple.
But you know what? There are some people that it works for. I'll say that. There are some people that if the deal works for everyone involved, then no one's tripping. No one's tripping.
If by God's grace I'm putting a roof over her head, food in her stomach, taking care of her children, if she has a car, if she goes on vacation.
We're in 2021. This is 2021.
That's exactly why they need girlfriends in the house. No woman shall be left alone.
Good Lord. I'm telling you, like, honestly, like, the only right basis to me for that kind of system is you're dealing with someone who's okay with the fact that they're not going to be able to satisfy all your, like, sexual or intimate needs, and they're okay with you looking for stuff elsewhere, and they don't feel like looking themselves. That's where it works. All that other shit, the cars and all that, that's details, man. To me, like,
Dude, these are the details why some of these women flew away from good men.
Like, but you know what? But you know that's very true, and that's gonna come to an end too. Like, you'll have like 2-3 decades of enjoying that, but who's that? Who's there sitting a 50 to 60-year-old thinking back and being like, maybe I shouldn't have done this shit. Maybe, just maybe, it wasn't worth what I thought it was worth. It was worth something, otherwise you wouldn't have done it.
You should tell them now.
No, I can't tell you that now. This is something for you to find out. That's your problem. That's not my problem. Like, I understand that now. That's why I'm not going to make that bet. Like, I would not make that bet. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm fortunate enough that, you know, my parents have pretty much always have been able to take care of me for as long as was necessary, you know. So I didn't grow up missing much, you know. The stuff I was missing was emotional and had to do with, like, identity stuff, like, you know, like, it was. So if we're talking about that Maslow pyramid, it wasn't things like, I wasn't missing shelter, I wasn't missing, like, a community. Maybe I was missing a community that I fit in, but I wasn't missing, like, a cocoon that I could call, you know, a home in all the material ways that we call things a home. Yeah. So, like, you know, I'm able to distance myself from the appeal of, you know, equating happiness and joy to these things, because I know that's not true. I know it doesn't work that way. I understand that it doesn't work that way. It never has, it never will. Now, of course, you can prioritize different things because you're trying to accomplish something. Like, you have kids to raise, your situation is different. Maybe you want to make a different bet. You're in a place where you want to change your financial situation. You want to prioritize that. Maybe you want to make a different bet. You know what I'm saying? But that's going to come with what it comes with, because the reality is that the emotional comfort and the emotional peace that material things bring is temporary. That's why people always want more. That's why people always want more. So there's something that you have to find within yourself that's more important than that. And so if you decide to pick who you're going to spend like 40 plus years based on these things, you have to be aware of the fact that you're making a smart bet to an extent, but you're also making a very dangerous one. Because what happens when you don't need these things anymore and you're left with that person when you already have it all?
There's a YouTube channel. When you have the time, the founder of Twitch, one of the founders of Twitch, actually, his name is Justin Khan. Yeah. And now he runs this YouTube channel, and he talks about, like, his depression when he built Twitch. You know, like
Huh.
all he wanted out of life was to build a $1 billion company, and
Yeah.
his friends built Twitter. No, his friends built Reddit. Like he's friends with a bunch of founders who founded $1 billion companies, and at the time
Yeah.
his company wasn't worth anything, and he was struggling.
Tell these
But
niggas I don't need 2 mil.
exactly,
But yeah, keep going.
he got there, and I mean, it's cool to have it for a short period of time, but then like
Yeah.
reality catches up. You
Yeah.
realize the money can't do anything for you. Like, it's even, if you can, like, watch his channel, because he does dish out a couple of great points, especially for people running out after goals in life. And
Yeah.
it's the same thing a no Texan told. I mean, a no Texan man told me this story about getting a boat. He said you only enjoy your boat 2 days out of the whole time you own that boat. The day you got it and the day you sell it. It's only like, even even in my life, I remember back in the day, there were like some brands, some luxury brands that I wanted to own like super bad. I think shoes and stuff. And
Yeah.
they seem distant when you're dreaming about them, but as soon as I got them, that same night they meant nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, if you're chasing, and that's what I blame. I blame a lot of women for this, but there's
No, that shit goes
honestly a
both
lot of
ways.
dudes. Like, it's just people, I guess. Like, people just want things they don't know. Those things will never fill the emotional gaps.
No, they won't. No, they won't.
Never.
A lot of people died miserable in castles, you know. So
the
servants.
The CEO, the CEO and founder of Zappos.
Yeah.
Like the man died, he burnt in a tent that I mean, I don't know the entire story, but this dude is a billionaire. He was organizing parties left and right. Like, there's nobody he wants to be around that he can't be around.
Yeah.
Access like nobody else, but still didn't make him happy enough. Like
no.
You know Anthony Bourdain, right? The dude who had the cooking show. Like, I mean, this guy had one of the best jobs in the world. They fly you around the world to eat people's food. Yeah, come on now, some of us dream about that, but my man,
some of us got to go to Uber Eat just to find something that we're not gonna hate eating too much.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And this man was eating at every beautiful table there is in the world, and it still didn't fill up the gaps. Like,
yeah, because that's not what it's for. Like, that's the thing. It's like, you know, and of course I'm still in the middle of learning how things work, but that's a thing that I feel I have a fair understanding on. You know, I'm not too stupid about that. It's like that's not, I know that's not what I'm gonna need most. Never gonna be what I need most. You know, I've met too many people, you know, who had everything that who were supposed to have everything, you know, that would fill those gaps, but you know, they still feel very empty. You know, when people say things like it's lonely at the top, you know, like what kind of person would say this? Because it's about more. Like, I'm looking at someone like Jay-Z who is definitely like someone I look up to in more ways than not. Like, the guy is, look, man, Jay's Jay. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he's in a category of his own.
He's in a category of his own. It's gonna be that way forever. You know, like, Jay's not just, you know, see, the money's in there. You know what I'm saying? The money and the success. But that's not nah. It's
just as like, an artist alone.
It's the intentional growth. You know, it's in the lines. the lines that hit me in Jay-Z records are always like little slight joints, you know what I'm saying, that just show you the person's mindset, like it's feeling it. I don't know if you listen to Feeling It, his record, his song on Reasonable Doubt. I'm feeling it. No, 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 feeling it. And he's saying some cool stuff. And you have like obvious like heavy hitters like if every nigga in your clique is rich, your clique is rugged, nobody gonna fall because everyone gonna be each other's crutches. Like you have lines like these. But one of the lines that I really love in that song is like the part where someone's saying, "Hey yo, JC, where you disappeared, son?" And he says, "Maintaining, putting myself in a position most of these rappers ain't in." And in the same album, for example, he'll start a verse by saying, "I stepped it up another level, meditated like a Buddhist," and that's gonna be the line that sticks with me because it's like, oh, like this nigga's been meditating since '96, like, and then you take this down to like where we at right now. He just released that record with Nas and DJ Khaled, and there's a line in there that just hit me. That just hit me in my heart. It's when he says, I don't know the exact line, but he said something about being so effective and productive that every 6 months he has to have a new bucket list. Like, nigga, do y'all hear the power of that shit? Like, every sick nigga, I still have a bucket list from 6 years ago. What are you talking about? Like, from 10 years ago.
My original bucket list still has stuff on there.
My original bucket list is not even halfway through. You know what I'm saying? Like, so they're talking about having a new bucket list every 6 months.
No, Jay-Z's just different, man. Jay-Z's
like,
just
you can't,
different.
You're not allowed to stump up niggas like this. But it's you like, know, that's what gets me, like, you know, with the guy. It's that beyond, you know, and you hear, and it's funny because I noticed I have to do a search on that, on the amount of times in his music he asks, "Is this what it's all about?" Like, you know, like it like, because that comes, like I heard it in a few records. Right now I'm still thinking about like the suit and tie verse.
Yeah.
Suit and tie. Is this what it's all about? I'm at the restaurant, like, you know, so like just little lines like that where it's like there's this moment of contemplation where it's like, is where I am right now really what everything is about? And I feel like I'm looking at this guy who started his career, you know, and you know what the general perception of him is like is, you know, a gangster rapper who, you know, had a very difficult upbringing, sold drugs, and
the man could
you
be a
know,
president someday, bro.
and made it out. Hopefully he doesn't. Hopefully he's not. I think he's good where he's at, or I think he's good, like, you know, on the path that he's, you know, on right now.
He's getting too much into politics lately, but yeah.
Yeah, not really. Like, that's the thing. Like, he's just doing the work. Like, that's really what it is, and I feel like that's where we need people like him to, you know, like, a president's job is a difficult job to do, and it's also a very constraining job. You know, you don't have the kind of freedom that he would have as a person. Like, he gets to say these things because he doesn't have to answer to too many people.
I mean,
you know,
business wise, he's doing his thing. I mean, that
yeah, but as a man, like as a man, the progression, I have to say the progression, like, you look at where he started. Like, you look at Big Pimpin' Jay-Z, and Jay-Z that's giving you, like, you know, advice about how, you know, he in 444 he was talking about how he had seen The Godfather multiple times, but a lot of times he forget about how this was always about family.
Yeah.
Like, you know, by the time it gets to the third, it's like this man dies alone. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if you've seen all three Godfathers, but
I've watched the whole thing, dude.
yeah, but Michael Corleone dies alone. You know, he dies alone in Sicily because he can't live with the fact that his daughter was killed in his stead. You know, and he lost his brother. Like, you know, when he has the little episode, and he starts to Fredo, like, you know, because it's like, you know, eventually it gets to a place where it's like, yeah, it's not about all this. It's not just, it is about all this, but it's not just about all this. All of this is for something else. It's not the riches are not, the human beings are not here for the riches. The riches are here for the human beings. And it's when we forget about that order that we start falling into things. And that's when 20, 30 years later, people look back and they're like, oh man, I had this fucked up.
That's it's been in my last year of college. It was one
Mm-hmm.
of the things that scared me the most. Like
Mm.
I had, I don't, I try to not say spiritual things too much because I don't want to seem like a Looney Tune. But it was, I think it was the year was like 2013, 2014. I had like this clear vision of
Yeah.
me on a couch with like two, three half naked women next to me and a table full of drugs and me just dead, overdosed. Like the picture was hyper clear in my head.
Mm-hmm.
But I was only a couple semesters from graduation and I was set to make like a lot of money, at least for
Yeah.
at the time for me. So all I could think about at the time was I don't have any real life plans. Like my family doesn't need me that bad. Uh Everything is all right. Like what am I going to do with all this wealth that I'm about to have? And all that kept coming back every time I thought about that was just this image of me just, basically losing control of all the power that you might be given at in a future. And when I tell you that vision scared the shit out of me, because at the time I was out of control. Like I was super depressed,
Yeah.
super depressed. So to make up for the depression, I would overreact, overreacting, or I mean, overstimulate myself. So I got to that point where I started really like, I had to really ask myself, like, I know in my heart, all these things that I'm being told I'm chasing are not going to fulfill me. Like the money, the building houses, the this, that, it's not going to fulfill me. Like I have to take a step back and know exactly what is it that gives me like you I don't know if you when athletes play they talk about this moment where you feel like you're in the zone,
Mm-hmm.
everything is just clicking, things the game slows down like and I felt like I had to take a step back to get into something in my life where I feel that way. I don't know if you feel like that in music where like you just lost in what you're doing at that moment. Like not much matters more than that.
Yeah.
And that's what it's been for me. Like, and when you were talking about Jay-Z,
Yeah.
like one of the most important lines in hip hop for me has been on his song Brooklyn We Go Hard.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Put me anywhere on God's green." No, he said, "I sell
Oh,
I
that's
sell
what you
ice in
don't
a
know.
winner. I
That's
sell
what you don't
ice in a
know.
winner.
I
I sell
sell
fire in
fire in
hell.
hell. I'm a
I am a
hustler,
hustler,
baby. I
baby. I
sell
sell
water
water
to a
to a
well.
well." And then down I think a couple
At the
bars
end of
later
the
he says,
verse,
"Put me anywhere on
anywhere
God's
on
green
God's
earth.
green
I
worth, I
triple my
triple my
worth."
worth, motherfucker.
Rah.
Yeah.
When I tell you that bar has changed, I mean, I believe in God and the fact that he has won my battles for me already. Like I'm not tripping. I'm not tripping on that. But the mindset that he like the way he was able to craft the mindset of a hustler into just put me anywhere on God's green earth. I triple my worth. Like put me in any disadvantageous situation. I will
I'm
still
gonna get
win,
my way
bitch.
out of it. Yeah, I'll win.
Oh,
I gotta win. Yeah.
dude, that is, I mean, for me, things like that when I listen to music, things like that when I like, and just again talking about Jay-Z as the man, like, have you noticed how his entire aura like not just the aesthetic, not just the image, but like the aura changes from album to album.
Yeah,
Like
there's
you you
growth.
you sense that evolution. Like he
Yeah,
doesn't
there's
even talk
growth.
about the same things after
No,
every album.
it's constant growth. That's what I love about the man. Like it's constant growth. That's why I'm saying like the human, observing the human behind, because it's always going to be about human beings to me. When I observe the human behind this, I see an infinite potential for growth, you know, and that's, and also not just a potential for growth, a real active growth. He actively and
Yeah.
intentionally stays growing, you know, and that's someone like, that's someone that I'm like, yeah, I'm seeing someone which, you know, really doing everything they can to reach their full potential, you know, on a regular basis. That's, you know, you were talking about when you went to Nick's studio. I don't know what you went there for, but I don't know if you're making rap records there or some shit, but
Yeah. Record
yeah.
coming soon.
212. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Last week freestyle. And
Good idea.
I'll let that sink in. But yeah, so but the song he played for you was probably temporary, like you know, the one that goes, I finally learned how to get through this hell, battle the struggle, don't battle yourself. Show me your story, I'll show you the pieces that you're overlooking and put you in this mess. Who told you shit don't get better than this? Who told you shit don't get better than this? Nigga, they lied to you. This shit is temporary. We're finna make it through. Like that's, you know, and that's the man in that song. Like I say, there's a line. That's the thing about how I write music, man. I put shit, you know. I'm gonna give you a little like crash. Can I share my shit real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, cause you gotta authorize that, because Zoom is for dictators, and I know you're a dictator, so
they made this shit for me.
they made this shit for niggas like you, and they just want to have 4 wives, don't want them to see nobody else.
Bro, four? Those are rookie numbers.
Y'all crazy.
Those are rookie numbers, sir. Where do I?
I don't want to. You gotta authorize. You gotta authorize me to share my screen, please.
Okay, screen share. I'm on the screen share. What am I supposed to authorize over here?
Just authorize other participants to like share their screen.
Did you send?
I don't have to send anything. I just gotta,
okay,
because right now it's just telling me I can't share my screen because the host has disabled participant screen sharing.
Oh.
So I think when you go into participants, you can probably activate that, or either in your screen sharing option. One of the two. I don't know.
Jesus Christ! Multiple participants. One participant can share at a time. Okay, multiple participants can share simultaneously. Advanced sharing options. Oh, yeah, okay. I think who can start sharing when someone else is sharing. Okay, I think you're good.
Cool. So, yeah, there we go. We're in business. That's what's up. So, yeah, see, like you're seeing some of my notes.
I see.
Damn, I was like watching in my notes. Eligibility, leadership and addiction. What is that? Optimism is a discipline. I don't even remember what that was for. Anyways, like you look at I'm gonna go straight into like lyrics and shit, and because I organize my notes so I can find shit like specifically for that. And like you look at something like this, like there's a line in here, because the song, I'm gonna play the song once so you can follow with it.
Yeah.
Temporary. Yeah, there we go. It's probably, you tell me if that's the song he played for you.
Okay.
Is that the joint?
I don't.
Can you hear it?
No, I don't hear it over here.
Okay, yeah, I got it. Probably I'm just gonna share my entire screen because like they do. I'm screen sharing. You share screen. Also share sound. Boom. Okay, we should be good now. I think this is gonna be the next video I shoot, honestly.
Dude, that hook is catchy as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, what is your vision for the video?
I have none. I haven't even thought about what I want to do with this visually. I just know I need to do something with this visually.
Do you remember? Do you know the song by Joey Badass? Devastated.
Yeah.
It gives me a little bit of that vibe of like somebody dancing in the rain with like with his like school jacket on, like you know.
Yeah.
It reminded me a little bit of that. But yeah, man, like whatever you guys come up with something
yes,
dope, man.
Something fresh, because the record has the potential to like stay traveling, you know. So that's and then when you look at the lyrics, cause I don't know if you can see the lyrics.
No, I see
like,
it. I see it right in front of me.
Yeah, like it's a lot in there. It's a lot in there, you know. Like there's a way that I write, you know, my verses. It's interesting because you said you pay attention to lyrics, so like, you know, and the line, little hardship could never break me, lost a lot as far as I can see, but I transcend body, gain spirit. Like that line is packed with like 4 meanings. Like this line, like little hardship could never break me. I lost a lot as far as I can see, but I transcend body, gain spirit. Like it's you know.
That's a little poem by itself. That's a haiku right there, bro.
Oh yeah.
That's a real haiku right there.
Yeah, man. Like it's what it was. Like, and that's the thing. I have like little pieces in the verses that are all like, you know, that are telling a full story by themselves, you know. Like even if you look at like this one right here, like this little pocket, like I used to write by myself in a room with my thoughts on a loop. That she gave me a hook and an uppercut for the booth. I was shadow boxing with the truth. Now I know my pockets on the record in life. Like it's little things that are about, like, it's the same as when I don't know if you heard my song Tempo. Like life can beat on us. We know the tempo. We're gonna be courageous because we said so.
Yeah. I've heard that.
Yeah, like it's the same kind of spirit where it's like you know, there is no choice but to keep going. There is no choice but to figure this out one step at a time. But you know, with every time I said that on a song, I'm a little closer to what I was looking for than the time before. And because we were just talking about like mindsets and like Jay and all this stuff, like this is the stuff that ends up like really, you know, mattering to me. This is the stuff that I hope like someone will hear and they'll be like, okay, I can keep going. You know, because this is what the record is telling you. It's telling you you can keep going. It's not so much about me being out here flexing that I know how to rap now. No, that's not what this is about. This is about like, you know, it's hope. It's hope. You know what I'm saying? Like, who told you shit don't get better than this? They lied to you. So don't let it get to you. The shit is temporary. We're gonna make it through. You know, like, and that's a lot of, you know, what I'm hoping to do with those records. You know, to because that's what songs migrate when I listen to their music. That's what it did for me. You know, put me in a place where I was like, oh yeah, I can keep going. Because I hear Jay, like when I hear people like Jay say in interviews or in songs that they were depressed about something, and it's like, oh, so they made it past that. That's what I'm hearing. What I'm hearing is you made it past. You were there. You were at that point, and you made it past that. That's really dope. Like one of my favorite moments in the past month is when I heard Jay say on the barbershop, you know, the show with LeBron.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I heard him say that he used to forget his line on stage. And I was like, damn, that's reassuring. And I thought I was shit because I just came from a video where I had forgotten a lot of my lines. Even when we shot Hideout, I forgot a lot of my fucking lines because it all happened so quickly.
Yeah.
That I didn't have time to familiarize myself with the record in the way that I wanted to. And ADB, like ADB just shows up and this nigga knows all these words. This nigga just ran through that shit. I was like, fuck you, nigga. Like,
no, hey, by the way, ADB, shit.
Hey, this nigga's on fire, bruh. I don't think niggas realize, bruh, this nigga's a monster.
I think he's getting ready to release something, right?
Yeah, he has. He's working on 2 projects. I owe him a hook. I have to send it to him. Dude, I can tell the
niggas. He's ad-libs. Now I'm just throwing flowers at the brother, but his ad-libs might be known just like Kid Cudi's ad-libs. No joke.
Oh yeah, no, for real. No, that nigga ad-lib gave me some vicious shit, bro. Like, bro, and you haven't even out like when towards the end of this, I'll show you like a little something we did with Boily. Mm-hmm. Bro. Hey man, hey this nigga vicious. But I show up at that video shoot and I'm like organizing the thing with Pascal, like thinking about logistics and everything. So I'm just trying to make this shoot happen. And then when I get to the shoot, I'm like, oh man, I didn't have time to rehearse my words. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'd be writing confusing ass verses. So like shit, like when are we going there? Where are we? That shit will fuck with your head. It's the same question asked differently for like 3 bars. So I'm in the middle of the shoot trying to remember what order they come in. And if it was a live performance, I would have done whatever I wanted. It doesn't matter. I can say them in the order I want. Yeah. But at a video shoot, it has to match what's on the record. So now I'm trying to like figure out the words at the same time and everything. Like, and then this nigga at the bitch shows up for his verse and just kills it.
And kills everything.
He just kills everything.
Leaves no survivors. Like, because I think I heard that song at the VA the first time, and I was like, okay, this shit is dope. Like this shit is really dope. But I didn't pay no mind until like I think you posted the teaser, and I was like, okay, this shit looks like a vibe. But when I like the whole visual, first of all, even the coloring of the video, like somebody took some time to do that shit right. Like I respect that.
Oh, but, Pascal is insane, man.
Dude, but I did bass part, man. It was just that it closed that song so well. So well.
Yeah.
Like it reminded me of I mean the Kid Cudi humming is great, but You know, the Jamaican dude who did the song One Blood with the game back in the day.
One blood.
Exactly. That his part at the beginning, I mean, it's not the same thing, but it kind of reminded me of that. Like, but that
I can
shit
see
closed the
why.
song so well.
No, I can absolutely see why. It's Adebe is really like an he has very powerful vocals, and his vocals sound like they're a rally chant. That's what they sound like. The man sounds like a legit riot. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So
If there's ever a revolution in Gabon, they need to check that nigga first.
give that nigga a megaphone. Give that nigga a megaphone. That nigga will show up. And like the stuff he's saying in his verse is real. Is real. I was questioning whether or not I should have put subtitles, you know. I actually regret not putting them on there. I just
Really?
might, yeah, I think, yeah, because he's saying some real shit, man. Like he's saying some real things. Like,
What I mean, or you should do like I mean, I don't know, because that's also a lot of work, but you could do a lyrics video.
yeah, but it wouldn't help. It wouldn't help. It would have to go with the visual. It would have to go with the visual.
Mm.
The thing is, we spent so much time like trying to get the video right that by the time it was time to release it, we had forgotten about the subtitles, you
Oh,
know,
okay.
and yeah, and it was already out. Like if it were like honestly, if I was still doing things the way I did them a few years ago, I would have deleted the video and reposted one with subtitles. But now I'm learning to let things go. You know,
Yes. Let
things
your
happen.
ugly babies exist in the world.
You know what I'm saying? Like, cause like, nah, that man showed up, man, and just
No,
said some real
that
bullshit.
shit was dope. Like, I mean, because being here, just listening to mainstream, you don't. I kind of gave up on music back home, like both in Togo and Gabon. Like, I kind of just gave up. Like, ain't nothing great going on in a place where everybody wants to run. But then, like flowers growing out of concrete,
Yeah,
you got these talented assholes just making you have to reconsider saying
yeah,
goodbye
everything.
to now. But like honestly, it's been enjoyable. The so far the experience for me, just listening to music, just getting to, it's like it's like not having any money and discovering that you had a stack in your pocket.
Exactly.
It's crazy. Like I just enjoy it. I really do. Like to know that I'm for example, the song Arrête ça by Genetic.
Yeah,
I don't know how many times I played that song in the past week, man. I
that
mean,
record is crazy.
actually, it's your song with Dancy that replaced that song on my playlist.
Oh
But
yeah,
it like if you go in my YouTube, like the playlist that the algorithm creates for you, it's literally uh Dancy, you, then like Genetic has like 3 or 5 songs on my list.
that's wild.
The algorithm was like, okay, Gabon is doing it for you right now, huh? But
Nah, they got some crazy, and it's more of them.
no, the shit. I mean, the shit is nice. It's nice. Like it's because of them. Because of them, literally, I'm going out there on Twitter trying to find rappers from home. Like I went back into Willie Tribe's old playlists just to see who I can find. And I mean, whoever the managers are, they need a ass whooping. Because Lord of mercy, it's like I have something worth $1 million and I'm hungry.
Yeah,
Bruh, your artists are just way too good. Way too good. But
we'll get there. We'll get there. I'm on my way.
There
I'm
you
on my
go.
way. I'm a
There you
shock.
go.
I'm a shock niggas, man. Like I'm a shock. And when I say that, like people always think I'm saying like I'm gonna shock them with my solo career. Nah, that's not what I'm saying. Like I'm gonna change. Like I'm not even gonna say too much. Y'all gonna see.
Just ta-da, like
Yeah, yeah. Y'all just gonna see.
the Senegalese dude in Italy.
Oh yeah, man. It's gonna be legendary. It's gonna be legendary. It's gonna be because there
Yeah,
is potential for legendary, so it's gonna be legendary. The only problem we have is that niggas is too greedy, but it's not even their fault. That's what they were taught, like it's so we'll have to overcome all these things, but we'll do it together.
this is what I've discovered by this year by discovering all of you guys is that like because I won't lie to you, I was desperate. Like I had given up. I was just like,
Yeah.
fuck these people. Like I have a life to live. I have shit to do. Like if you don't want to make money, if you don't want to create shit worth doing, like why should I want something for you more than you want it for yourself? But
Yeah.
like at the moment that I was ready to just give up on shit, like I discovered you guys, and it's, for example, just working with Genki or Clancy at Willie Tribe, like that shit is so easy.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you just send them a message, and if they're not sleeping, if they're not busy, they'll answer you. Like,
Oh, they're on their shit.
dog, I know big companies where people are getting paid big bucks. They do not communicate that well. What? And knowing that you're dealing with artists and knowing how crazy and unstable artists can be, and you're still capable of maintaining that level of communication, come on now. Like whoever is out there blessing startups with some funding, please send some money that way. Send some money that way.
Oh, it's gonna get to that. They deserve it.
Oh, they deserve. Oh,
if anybody deserve it, they do.
To me, like in 5 years, 10 years tops, 10 years tops. Like if the rhythm is kept and the growth is steady, there's no way that they won't be in the top 10 of media companies in Africa, point blank period. Like at least digital media wise, it's super doable. Like the artists need exposure. Your management team is knowledgeable, capable, and can communicate, because that's what a lot of people can't do. Like,
yeah. They communicate extremely poorly. But again, it's like in a lot of these situations, people just want to talk better. They need to be, we all need to be shown a better way, and for the ones of us who are looking for it, I feel like, we'll have interesting things to add to,
yeah,
to what's already going on. Yep.
the real will connect.
Amen to that. Amen to that.
Shit. Like,
as long as rappers stop fighting on Facebook or dumb shit, I think we'll be fine.
First of all, somebody got to tell these people that beef marketing is dumb.
Yeah,
those are short-term gains.
Yeah, and the reality is that it only works when it's done at a certain scale. Like when Creole and 2MG and all that with Jojo did it, it worked. It was great. But the fact that it worked so well for them meant that was also the end of it working. They did it. They did the thing. They made it work. Leave it alone. Don't do it. Don't do it. They've done it. Like, stop. If I hear a song coming from Rodzang and MC Bright, I'm gonna be very disappointed.
Hey, no disrespect to them two niggas, by the way, but I saw that shit and I was disappointed. Like,
I didn't understand what was going on.
No, I saw what was going on between. I didn't even know there was a problem. First of all, I just saw a video of somebody in pushing somebody in a studio, and then asking them to go for a freestyle, and I'm like, bro, first of all, you and that kid. I mean, if we're talking respect, you disrespected yourself by looking that way in a video. And on top of that, you're somebody that I have like I respect his skill. Like, to me, skill wise, Rod Zang is, I mean, that man's crazy. So there's no like
he's an excellent rapper.
Who should
he's top tier.
He's top tier. Exactly.
Yeah, he's top tier. He's top tier. There's no question there.
It's like I mean, it's I don't even know how to compare it. If Big Sean was to start a serious beef with Lil Pump, trying to push Lil Pump in his trailer right now, like that stuff doesn't make sense. You want to prove that you're the best, or you want to prove a point? Burn this man in music. Keep burning him in music. We want the music shit. We will enjoy it.
And even that, I think, I mean, I don't like speaking on these things, especially publicly, because I think
and you're an artist as well.
I think it's a waste of
get a couple picks.
I think it's a waste of everyone's time. I feel like Hot Zang's talent deserves better than this situation. And I also think MC Bright's talent deserves better than this situation. Look, the reality is that I was just listening to my own chef, bro. That record that joint is a banger, bro.
Bruh.
That joint is so fucking good. Like,
that song,
it's about to hit 1 million views.
This boy needs to know, right, that I was going through hell when that song came out, and that song kept me going. You don't understand when you have to drive and you're depressed, but you play that song and you're just dancing while driving. If he doesn't know that he's doing something amazing, somebody needs to tell him. Like, for us living overseas who get to listen to snippet of music coming from home, knowing how hard it is for artists to make it back home, guys like them make us dance when we're depressed. So stop doing that fuck shit.
Like, man, I saw it just felt like such a waste of two very talented energies.
You guys are artists, not fighters.
I was looking at this, and then I was like, y'all have more to learn from each other than you have to gain from something like this,
Bruh.
MC Bright, the reality is that, to put it in blunt terms, Hot Zang can't do what MC Bright does. And MC Bright cannot do what Hot Zang does. That's how this works. It's just like Hot Zang is really good at the thing he does. He's excellent at it. I mean, if we're talking like raw MCing skill, I can't think of a single rapper in Gabon that can fuck with him. Not even Lolly Comindo and them. Like, but
shots fired.
That's with all due respect. He's their little homie. They trained him. It only makes sense that he
of course.
You see what I'm saying? It only makes sense that he would be at that level. They trained a monster. Like, that motherfucker's crazy. Like, but as far as like making hit records, and making records that can really bring people together through like joy and celebration. What MC Bright did with that song, that shit was legendary. Dude. That shit was legendary, man. And like, the same way he was telling MC Bright, oh, let's come out and rap. I dare you to come rap with me outside. MC Bright could have told him, I dare you to go make a hit in the studio right now.
He should have. Or nigga, let's sing. Let's battle sing.
Yeah, not even like, bro, here's the beat. Like, I dare you to make a hit right now.
Yeah,
I dare you to make a song that the whole country is gonna relate to right now. And that's the thing that that's where we lose a lot, because it's like, why are we fighting over these things? Like, Hot Zang is like a super conscious and highly intellectual rapper. That's his stuff. That's his bread. Like, that's what we know. Honestly, this nigga should get to writing books so we can get it over with.
Exactly.
And then when you a brother like MC Bright, like, the nigga is like, he's an entertainer, and he makes good entertainment, man. We should be happy that we have such diversity in the game. What are y'all fighting over?
Dumb shit.
It makes no sense, and it's not helping anyone, because now, because people have been taught to think that way, they're going to think they have to choose. You don't have to choose. We should be able to play both in the same playlist, at the same get together, in the same day. And then if you can listen to both in the same day, then you had a complete day. You know what I'm saying? Like, you had a complete listening experience that day, you know, because they all bring, you know, very powerful different elements. It's the same with artists like Denzel. Like, their shit is good, man. Like, they're so fucking good at what they do.
They need to check their egos, get together.
Yeah, like this is bigger than us. That's what I always say. This is bigger than all of us.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine how big like a joint tape between the two could be if it came out like a month from now?
Yeah.
Like, at this point, that might be the biggest thing they can do. Like, okay, fuck this shit. Let's put out an EP, 4 or 7 songs. Let's talk shit to each other on the tape.
Yeah, that could be cool.
That would be fire. Whoever that manager is, if you can listen, that'd be cool though.
The people would listen to it. Like, people would listen to it. They would listen to it. They'd pay attention to it.
You know what?
I could think of 3 interesting concepts with them alone. Like, it's people would listen to that shit.
Oh yeah, and they would make money too. They would make money. But I guess beefing is more important. That's
because we're worried about egos. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, I want to tell anyone that's an artist and that's listening, you're not the best at what you do.
Rewind and tell them again.
You're not the best at what you do. There's some kid, maybe 4 blocks from you, that's better than you at it. And if he's not better than you now, he'll be in 2 years. You're not the best at what you do. You can be the best, however, at being what you do. You can be the best version of what you do specifically. None of us is the best rapper in the world, or the best entertainer in the world, or the best singer in the world. Maybe 1 year at a time, they'll give it to you. You were the best entertainer this year. You were the best entertainer this month. You were the best entertainer this week. But this shit is it's so fleeting. It can't be what we're worried about. It can't be what we're worried about. That shit means nothing.
When you see people do that type of stuff, first it's a sign that they have nothing better to do. So that's actually very problematic, because that means out of all the productive ways that you could have used your time, you thought that was it. You know, like, people need to get back to the basics. Let the music speak for itself. Like, God already blessed y'all with tremendous talent. Like, there are people who will work their entire lives and won't be able to do half of what you're doing. Like, be aware of what you have, and then, like, you know, make us enjoy some jams. Shit, I have a couple of cases of whiskey that deserve some great music.
You know what I'm saying? And y'all make great music. And y'all make great music, man. We have bigger problems than your egos. We have bigger problems. We have bigger problems than each other's egos. Like, I gotta check my ego at the door a few times myself, you know, when I want to go into certain moods and feel certain ways about, like, because it's jealousy, it's envy. It's envy, man. I can't say I've never heard someone's song and thought, man, fuck that nigga. How come he gets all the attention? That happens.
It happens.
But you being an adult is you realizing that that's not the right kind of energy. And now I'm able to celebrate when I see people, like, you know, do great shit. I'm like, holy shit, this is really good, dude. Like, this is congratulations. Like this.
You actually evolved to a higher human being than I've been able to evolve to. I don't even, like, me, it's like when I see you do something better or greater, like, first I noticed that little like, because it's always there before you even admire somebody, like you feel that little jealousy that you weren't the one, or you weren't capable, or why not me? But then it fuels that. I turn that immediately into fuel. Like I get angry with myself and then I challenge myself. Like, okay,
Yeah,
he did it that way. Let me use this fire, this like sense of inadequacy to like do something even better,
yeah.
hoping that whatever I do also motivates you, because a good rival is nothing but a blessing.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
Nothing but a blessing. Like, imagine two rappers just going bars for bars. By the end, they will be better rappers than they were before they started. Like, but you know, like they say back home, on va encore faire comment?
Dead ass.
Ah,
Dead ass, man. Dead ass.
oh
Nah,
man.
we'll make it through. I love every single one of these niggas, man. I love every single
It'll
person.
be all right. It's
Yeah, I love
that.
every single person that comes like from where we from. I have a great love for us as humanity, you know. So I try to take all this stuff with a grain of salt and be like, okay, where do we go from here? You know, how are we gonna redistribute this energy in a way that you know is beneficial to all of us? Because at the end of the day, that's what it's always going to be about for me. Like bottom, you know, at the core of it all, that's always what it's going to be about for me. It's like how do I make this an all of us thing? How do we make this an all of us thing? How do we, from where we are, play our roles in a way such that we can make this an all of us thing? And you know, from there, uh, you know, the sky is the limit. That's when the sky is not even a limit anymore. When we come together in that way, that's when whatever version of God you believe in is present. You
Yeah.
know that it's when we come together in that way. It's when we remember that it's an all of us thing. Because the reality is that even when you think about stuff like competition, you know, it's like think about someone like Vicky, right? Every blog that's written about Vicky in the past year is more likely to write about another Gabonese artist because they wrote about Vicky.
Yes. Yes.
You
Yes.
don't have a reason to be jealous. You just have work to do. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It does like we're all this thing. We're all connected to each other in one way or the other.
You're
We
part
have
of
to be
contact.
happy about it. Yeah, we have to be happy about each other's victories. We have to celebrate each other. I was at a get together recently with some artist friends of mine, and we were talking about African musicians and all that. And I was like, I was just in Gabon, and what I saw as far as Gabon is concerned, for example, shows me that there's great hope to be had. People are working really hard and they're doing incredible things. And they were like, yeah, but it's not the same as what we do here. Like it's a different level. And I'm like, what different level? What the fuck are you talking about? And they're like, yeah, because when we go there, we're gonna be able to show them like we ain't going. I was like, we ain't gonna show them nothing. Like these niggas is at it. And guess whose video I played to shut them up? I played Vicky's Blue Bombay.
Oh,
And these niggas shut up. You know what I'm saying? Like they shut up.
they had no idea.
Yeah. And there was a whole rack of other things I could have played because there are so many people active right now doing great shit. But
Oh yeah.
I know for a fact that as a reference point, so at the end of the day, you can feel however you want to feel about what she does. Whatever's good for her is gonna end up being good for the culture. It's gonna end up being good for anyone that's repping that flag because now you have one more reason to put that flag in your bio. Her, what Benjamin Epps is doing, what some other artists that I run into, you know, when I read Willie stuff, what Willie Tribe even is doing. Like when that award went to Suspect 95 and he showed the award, you think people didn't ask questions about where it came from? And that's what we have to keep in mind. Whatever I accomplish, that's a little bit your accomplishment too. because we're related.
People don't understand. Hopefully one day they will. Hopefully one day they will.
They will. I have faith in them. You know, it's just like it takes time. It takes time. Like,
oh yeah,
I know what I know now, but I'm still ignorant about so much. You know, like we're all in the middle of a learning experience. You know,
dude,
so
tell me about it.
It takes time. It takes time. Like one little step at a time, one little accomplishment at a time, one person at a time. We'll get there. We'll get there. Have faith in us.
Oh, I mean, it has to happen. I mean, not that it has to happen. There's just too many people trying to put their best foot forward at this point for it not to happen.
Yeah.
You know, like
people are working really hard.
People are working really, 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 really hard. Like I mean, I see the quality of work that people are doing. I see how much effort they're putting into things. And I mean, even in the worst case scenario, it will still be a beautiful, if everything fails, right? It will still be a beautiful body of work that will be remembered through history.
Yeah. The reality is that it can't fail.
Exactly.
That can't fail.
That's it. If
the effort is
you can't.
The effort fail. The effort is too great. It can't fail. The effort in itself is already a success.
The only people who can fail in this case are people who are not even trying at all.
Yeah.
And that brings us back to Jay-Z. My greatest fear is to not even try.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You know, so I think he was given an interview at Columbia University. I think it was Columbia. And I think they were praising him for how far he came. And he said, I actually have it in my notes. You know, this man said, I wish I could tell y'all I was a genius. Like I wish, but honestly, the thing we did well is that we never gave up. That was it. That was the message. That was the word. That was the word. And I thought that was really important that he said it that way. Like, because he said, I wish I could say we were geniuses. The genius thing that we did was we didn't give up.
Yep.
You know, and I think that's it.
That's the theme. You have.
If anyone's watching and you get nothing from this conversation, get that.
Don't give up, no matter what.
And most importantly, to rephrase that, I've been fucking like blowing my nose this whole time. Anyways, to rephrase that, it would be that not giving up is a proof of genius. Not giving up is one expression of human genius. Y'all niggas watch Naruto?
Yeah. Not giving up.
That's a manifestation of human genius. He said, I wish I could say we were geniuses, but the genius thing we did is that we never gave up. Because not giving up is a genius move.
I mean, it's the not giving up part is part of so many like success stories. It seems to be the secret ingredient.
Yeah. Nothing great happens immediately.
No.
It takes time, man. It takes a lot of time.
You couldn't cook your grandmother's food in the microwave, bro.
Yeah.
No. Good stuff good stuff has, like, I mean, even if you give, like, it's like winning the lottery. You can win the lottery today, but we know the story about those lottery winners. Most of them do
Oh
not
yeah,
get rich. Like, you have to build the foundations.
yeah, man.
Like, God did not create you with like the big brain to think big things from day one. He created you small. You didn't even know how to talk,
Yeah,
but he gave you the basics to be able to build on that.
yeah.
I mean, it's
If I won the lottery right now, my first move would be to find someone who made that money, or people who have that money and have made it consistently, and just be like, "Yo, we gotta talk, bro.
yeah, yeah.
We gotta talk." I just made $5 million.
I have a situation.
Yeah, I have a bit of a situation, man. I have in my possession $5 million, which I acquired in the summer, which started with me with a negative balance. So what do we do now? We got to talk. We got to see what we do with this money, bro. Because I'm not acting on this money yet.
Shit, you're
You're
right.
gonna lose it all. You're gonna start spending shit. You're gonna lose it all. First of all, it's gonna depress you. You're not gonna know how to deal. I'm gonna go see a therapist. I'm gonna go see a financial advisor, and I'm gonna start making millionaire friends because somebody needs to tell me what to do with this money.
Exactly. Like, first of all, I come and see. First of all, I'm not telling anybody that anything happened.
Hell no.
First things first.
I'm barely even telling myself.
There you go.
Like, hey, nigga, you better not tell nobody. You shut the fuck up
What?
about this, bro.
What? And I'm not going to see I'm not going to see a financial advisor. I'm going to see as many of them as possible.
Oh yeah, dog.
Get this 100K, multiply 100K, multiply 100K, multiply.
Yeah.
But I mean, shit. Actually, now that you said that, I thought about, it's a good exercise. Everybody should like try to play with the idea of like seriously play with the idea of what would I do if I had $1 million right now. I think that may help some people be less crazy whenever the blessings do come. Learn to manage a budget, something like that.
Yeah. I invest in learning what to do with it, man. Anybody that ever told me they had a lot of money in their heads, I always told them the same thing. Go talk to someone that's going to tell you what to do with it, because that knows what to do with this. Because if you're talking to me, you're talking to the wrong. I'm in debt. You shouldn't be talking to me. I'm the wrong person to ask these questions to. And the only right answer I can give you is redirect you to an expert. Go talk to a few experts. Don't start making hasty decisions. Don't start making crazy investments. You don't know what you're doing.
Don't try to.
As a matter of fact, I'm liable to put my ass to business school because of the amount of money I had. Because it's like, okay, now I need to know what to do with this.
Yeah. That's actually a fantastic idea. Shoot.
Like, bro, I figure it's like, hey, where can I learn this from? Because I didn't know I knew a little bit, but it's just a lot of money, man. Like, it's a lot of money. This is a lot of money. You got to take a step back. You got to take a year back, my nigga. You got to take I'm going to just talk and be like, hey, I need to settle my debts. And I need to figure out how much of this I need to leave. And I need to decide. I feel like the first thing you have to do is decide with your financial advisor how much it makes sense for you to pay yourself out of that money for like 2 years.
Yeah.
Because if you can at least agree on that, you might think I have $1 million. So for the next 2 years, I can ball. You're going to start spending like $30,000 a month and shit. Your financial advisor might be like, honestly, the way things are right now, if you really want to invest in this and this and this and this, and you really want the money to fluctuate like this, you only really have like $5,000 a month.
And the IRS didn't even give you that nice phone call. Give us our 30%.
Yeah. We going look. Wanted to give us 30% of that shit. Just because we already got to explain ourselves. If you don't do it, you're just gonna go to jail. That's all you need to know. So maybe don't be stupid and pay it. No, that's what it is. I really feel like that's what it is. You get like you figure out how much of this for 2 years. just for a good 1 to 2 years, how much you're going to pay yourself while you're figuring out what you're doing with this money.
Actually, there's an exercise. I mean, it's not an exercise really. Like, first, people should learn how to budget. Like,
yeah,
learn how to budget. But somebody taught me you have to figure out what type of lifestyle you want to live and how much that lifestyle is going to cost you, and figure out exactly how much money you need to make to be able to live that lifestyle without working. Because I think that's how like a few people that I know actually planned for their retirement. Some people only want to live like $100,000 a year lifestyle. So they figure out how much money do I need to make to live that way, and when is the earliest that can happen. They set that up, work like crazy. You see them dressed like dusty people, all all crackhead looking. You don't know these people are stacking money higher than Everest. You know, people need to get a fine. I mean, and that's another thing I want for this whole music, at least for you guys doing music back home. Like, there needs to be a financial advisor and a lawyer invited into the circle to just educate people.
Yeah, shit, I would need that. I still need to learn how to use the money properly. You know?
I need about 5 financial advisors and the help of my mother. The facts. These light bills don't get paid. Anyways, let me just shut up before I reveal too much of the truth.
Shit. Wait, what did that man say? The more I reveal, the more they're afraid of the real me.
Oh man. Has anything rang ever so true? Anyways.
How long do we have so far? What is this? Like 4 hours?
I think we've passed whatever limit we were supposed, or we didn't set up. But
you're gonna have to do highlights, bro.
It's no worries. Like, I'm going to probably publish the long version and then like cut a bunch of clips.
Yeah.
It's
a few things that are worth coming back to, you know.
Oh yeah, I'm going to cut the clips definitely, and I'm
If I show you this video, are you gonna be able to cut it out of the recording when you post the thing?
Go ahead.
Yeah, because can nobody see this yet?
I might go TMZ on you, bro.
You best not. Man's gonna kill you before I do.
We have the scoop.
Man, these niggas gonna hurt you, man. Don't do it to yourself. These niggas gonna hurt you. I can tell you that much.
We have the scoop. We are leaking this shit like a mother. And then who is he? Oh,
can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear. Oh, they did this shit proper, huh?
C'est le lobby à bas du rap. Tu veux faire du rap ou du rap? Il paraît que tu rappes ou tu rappes. Officiellement tu rappes ou tu chiales. Moi c'est Zidane, toi c'est Lida. C'est maléfique qui me guide à l'aise. Je pas les heures, tu pas bidas. Tout ce que tu deviens rare, je suis comme Midas. Fais du sale, ces gens là c'est bizarre. C'est fait tu s'appétit ça n'est pour ça, je fais ça à la GR, mais où est trop au virage. On prend un cheval, même la girafe. C'est ton colonel, capitaine général. Un petit statut devient viral. Moi musique alerte tout le village. On bise au pays. Quand Tiki chante son Sikida. Je suis un enfant béni dans son foutu pays. Que je fais là, c'est Dieu qui décide là. On va niquer Corona, niquer leur combat, quitter en choper le sida. Ils veulent être à ma place, marcher sur mes traces, ils seront jamais comme moi ici bas. Je suis le best, je suis le sec. Donc ils veulent toujours refaire ce que je fais. Connaître mon secret, savoir ce que je touche. Connaître le coup dans le trou que je baisse. Je suis devant, ils sont derrière, je suis le pénis. Ce sont les fesses, ils veulent voir le clash. Moi contre les autres, il n'y aura pas de clash, les autres contre faibles. Aubameyang, oui j'ai l'arsenal. Et contre pas fond comme X satellite. C'est toujours dangereux comme vos batteries. Je nettoie le game trop de batteries. Je reviens de loin comme un kémite. Man, j'adore le gain, mais je déteste le franc CFA comme Barkelly. Le litre à ma drop si Chanel. Ma barre est Kinder comme Chanel. Depuis quand je te dis que c'est la vitesse, je ne pas de rapper comme Shadem. Envoie-moi le bonheur par Charit. Je suis Rinaldi, je suis pas Charlie. Je te fait du mal pour tes chéris. D'autres ça perfait comme chez Mandy. Saliver, saliver. Oui, c'est les gros faut bien saliver. Aucun autre pourra m'arrêter. Enfant de l'euro et maritime. On t'appuie pas l'œil, on t'appuie les seins. On tient les manettes comme sur PS5. Enchaîne les bombes comme de DBC. Les modes d'achat marqués à DBC. Dos, dos. Dos, dos. Au 5-2, je n'enchaîne pas de pop, 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 pop. Dos, dos. Dos, dos. Au 5-2, je n'enchaîne pas de pop, 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 pop.
Ah! Un tueur spiritus.
Je t'aime pas, Choca. Si tu respectes Chokra. Mais t'es ok, chakra. 2 minutes, je t'élimine. Je marque comme Pacha. Je marque comme Pacha. Niveau mon bango. Mi-temps, body non bango. Mais ni pidi mon rango. Ça démarre dans le bivo mango. Bani bani batula mbo babu nimbunge. Yambu di corona meri ufu nimbunge. Bande fom nanzalo mumandaro. Loko batieno libéré. Pour cramer la haine dans ce bis, mon bâti j'allumette. Range la tête si tu piches de gros pour être honnête.
Merde.
On les victimes sur le net. La traîtrise n'a aucun remords. Une fois plané son assiette.
Oh! Tu l'es!
Ta zone de danger, c'est ma zone de confort. 8ème au top 2020, tout ça son sponsor. J'ai jamais eu le temps de tous vos buzz et consorts. Ça bouge pas, l'objectif c'est qu'on s'en sorte. La vie est dure, je me méfie quand elle confort. Freestyle, polytrack, hélicoptère, évidence sur ma tuque. J'vois freestyle, pour susciter des codes et demain je les riches. Ils sont pas bons et ils le savent. T'es obsolète, tu joues les sages. C'est vous les rois, c'est nous les mages. J'aurais dit que j'étais le plus grand, ils me partagent. Mais ils savent pas d'où on vient pour les milices. Mon frère, je m'en fous, je suis même pas si tu vas. L'objectif n'est plus le même, va leur dire que le fusil a changé d'épaule. J'ai changé mais je suis le même, je peux manger beignet haricot posé chez Paul. 4-4, vite fumé c'est faux, les gars là c'est des menteurs. On discute tous les deux, j'te les mêmes carrefours, c'est la faute au droit d'auteur. Ou pas, t'as fait les grands shows, n'est-ce pas? Est-ce que t'as investi? Je crois pas, donc arrête de me les chercher, le coupable. Ok, freestyle, polytrack, pélicote, baby danse sur ma dick. J'vois freestyle, pour susciter des codes et demain je les riches. Ils sont pas bons et ils le savent. T'es obsolète, tu joues les sages. C'est vous les rois, c'est nous les mages. J'aurais dit que j'étais le plus grand, ils me partagent. Freestyle, polytrack, pélicote, baby danse sur ma dick. J'vois freestyle, pour susciter des codes et demain je les riches. Ils sont pas bons et ils le savent. T'es obsolète, tu joues les sages. C'est vous les rois, c'est nous les mages. J'aurais dit que j'étais le plus grand, ils me partagent.
En génétique, j'ai beaucoup rappé.
Oh! Ah!
Ça passe. Sinon, c'est seulement le rap, là. On est là pour s'amuser. I'm beyond wishing for something different than a conversation that won't leave me dead in the head. I cannot stay scared, I'm prepared. I'm on a mission for freedom. I'm out here skimming on vision. Yeah, I'm out here looking for action, polishing every decision, learning from every depression and every loss with a pencil. I told you so, and I promise you will not tell me again. I finally picked up on game. I'm finally ready to put some respect on my name. Who the fuck wanna test it? Carry on with the get it all now. We're gonna live how we want now. We out here pissing our rules now. 2020 vision muddy. I'm clearly all over 21 to 22. I'm catching both sides of the lottery, scratching the ticket and telling the system to pay me in full for ignoring me. I mean, I'm barely even worried. I'm on a journey in my psyche. It's an uphill battle, but I win. Oh, Renaissance noire, on est dans le plan. Mélanine rare, c'est le bon plan. C'est les yeux ouverts qu'on a passé les 20 ans. On n'a pas de game, donc les bifs, on n'a pas le temps. On va pas se battre, les gens, y a pas d'argent. On en parle dans les coulisses, faut que ça change. Quand les égos tombent, le reste monte. Whisky dans le verre, je danse. Plus d'avance qu'un prepayment. On aime insulter ce qu'on aime, donc c'est fuck body try pour l'enjoyment. Je ne rappe pas pour les rappeurs, j'écris pour ceux qui partagent mes peurs et qui ont du cœur, donc comprennent que selon survie, à deux on fonctionne, en groupe on domine la vie. Minko. Hey man, fuck Bonnie Tribe, man.
Come on.
Merde. Merde. Non, là, c'est trop, man. Oh, man. Trop de vibe. Trop de vibe, genre, too much.
That shit gonna be super big. En fait, ça, c'est le truc là, faut pas suivre ça quand même. Ça va quand même mettre le game en pause pendant un moment.
Yeah. Ça va faire trembler les choses, genre.
Ça va déranger, ça va déranger.
Moi, quand on m'a dit qu'il y avait le cypher, je me suis dit, genre, cypher tranquille, genre, une caméra tranquille. Non. You guys did a whole shit. I don't know what to call that.
Yeah, man. You know that it reminds me of that Wu-Tang video they did. You know, where you had the killer bees going around the city. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of that.
Yeah. That shit was cool. That shit was
But that shit he did with the books that lit on fire, I didn't know he was gonna do that.
Bruh.
That was perfect. That was perfect.
First of all, look how you slide in. You slide in, we look at the book, the pages of a book. We can barely see the cover, and then we see a tall man in black on black. You know what that reminded me of? I thought that was you were going to like make a statement about some Death Note type shit. Because you had like, but no, you remember the anime Hunter x Hunter, right?
Yeah.
Rolo.
Oh yeah, you know what?
You had the whole look.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what I'm gonna do when that shit comes out? Actually, I'm going to do it as soon as I'm going to crop you out of the picture, and then I'm going to crop Crollo out. And then I'm going to do like a side by side, and maybe I'm going to put like a part of the song in like the background of the picture. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like what's the marketing plan on this shit, man?
I don't know yet, bro. I don't know. It's Boyley's managing this shit. It's their project, so like I don't know what they're planning to do. They're probably gonna do mean promotion. Like I hope so. You know?
Yeah, because this deserves like a hell of promotion. Like this.
Oh yeah. If they don't do it, I'm gonna take like this joint could reach 1 million views. Honestly.
Easy. Like I was talking to Genki the other day about like basically bringing more revenue to the website through like advertising and shit. And I was telling him how like the plan was to spam businesses so that they could at least like a few of them can respond. And like they need to spam like these blogs with this. They need to like I wonder why there's not more like
this has to be on OK Africa.
There you go.
This has to be on OK Africa. They gotta aim for platforms like these. Like
this shit has to be on Trash TV for fuck's
sake. Yeah. Y'all want to see rap? There goes rap.
There goes rap. And there's even a spiritual nigga in the song. Like go check the shit out. And the way they edited his eyes, like with the blue
that shit is amazing. That shit is amazing.
On.
That shit is amazing, bro. That shit is amazing.
Like I've never wanted to be part of the music business more than like ever since I've seen like the talent that you guys have been showing. Like this is stuff I would be glad to say, I represent these guys. Yeah. We're the one making the room shake. Yeah, man.
And you see, like in the verse, I insisted on like, you know, not making this about no rap beef. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why in my verse I said like on n'a pas de game, no beef, on n'a pas le temps. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't have time for this. We gotta move forward, man. Y'all bugging.
If you need some beef, go check out the butcher real quick.
Yeah, exactly. You go figure that out somewhere else. Like we're not gonna do that. Like I'm not gonna do that. And like, you know, even Bob Dan said that he said the same thing in his way. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, like we didn't come here to beef. Like this is not us telling every rapper in Gabon you ain't shit. This is us saying we gotta come together.
It's there's this guy, you probably know him, Peter Thiel. He was the first investor in Facebook, and one of the articles he wrote, the title of the article said competition is for losers, and really meaning like even if you look at some of the biggest organizations in the world, like they're really good at collaborating. They're really good at like, think about Drake. Drake collaborates with entire countries.
Mm-hmm.
Like he put on. I was talking to somebody who was I talking to? Like Drake is the reason entire countries have a music scene. Just collaborating with random dudes. Like niggas need to collaborate more than they beef. Like, what are you beefing for when the two of you are hungry as hell? But you know, that's our people. That's how people.
And I'm glad. That's why I was really happy to see, you know, when Meek and Drake did that thing. I was like, y'all niggas might still be fighting over the shit, but they're done. They moved on. There's money to be made.
Shit, too much money to be made. If your beef don't make money, it don't make sense.
Nope. Not one bit.
Yeah, man. We had a good time. I think we can call this an excellent podcast. I hope all the English speakers that watch this will check out the music and be able to relate to the way I feel about this man in the frame right now. This is let me throw a couple of flowers at you. You know, you can do the slow claps. This man is the future. This man is part of the future of the Gabonese music. This man, let me just say, this man got a couple Grammys in the future. He got a couple of awards out there waiting for him. Okay.
I received this very powerfully.
Your favorite artist, future favorite artist.
Amen.
Amen.
We're gonna snap to that. We're gonna snap. I received
yes, sir.
Yes, we're gonna you just manifested some powerful shit. You better be at the Grammys when I get those.
Hey, I promise you, I wish you all the success. I wish you opportunities. Amen. Any weapon that is shaped against you shall not prosper. All right.
We are claiming these things.
Yes, man. Yes. My belief and like I'll give you something my dad gave me when I was 16 and I was acting up and I was trying to be a dickhead. He said, "You're condemned to succeed. You're condemned to win. Even if you try to fail, you won't be able to. That's the only thing you'll fail at, failing."
Amen to that, brother.
So
That's some powerful stuff, man.
I wish you all the best. You have a great week. We'll definitely get a chance to do this again.
Absolutely. You know? Different scale, just different scale, but it's a conversation that needs to be ongoing. And I appreciate you and your insight, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I wish you great success too with everything you're doing with this here podcast and every project you have going on, man. Like, let this be something that'll be in history.
Let YouTube know to send me my check real quick. I'm starting to get impatient here. Okay, $5 will save an African child.
Pay this man millions, man. Pay this man millions.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Well, I'm gonna let you go. I know you got a couple ones locked down for the night,
man.
You know.
I'm a married man. Leave me alone.
A lion gotta do what a lion gotta do.
I'm a married man. I'm a happy
exactly my point. +1 +2 +3.
Make you take this far away from me. I'm only living a life where everyone involved is happy with how things are proceeding.
There will be more than blessed and happy.
Amen to that, man. May I be a source of blessing to everybody who gets involved with me in any way. That's what I want.
Yes, sir.
All right, bro. You take care. Take
All
it
right,
easy.
take care, man.
You got a lot of French subtitling to do, man. I don't know how you're gonna do this shit.
I don't know. I just might have to do it for the clips, because Jesus.
Yeah. Man, if you have a budget, if you have a little bit of a budget, you can get somebody on Fiverr to do it for you for the low.
Yeah. I should actually look into that. Actually,
Yeah.
I might, or I might. It's either put the money in that, or you know what? I'm gonna put the money in more advertising. You know,
Yeah.
I might send this podcast to a couple record exec with your links on it. I'm not saying that anything is going to happen, but I'm just saying they gonna know this nigga is out there doing shit.
Let them know. Let them. They gotta see. They're not looking enough. They gotta see. Coming your way.
Coming
at
in a stadium near you.
Amen. Amen. Full stadium, full pack.
Yes, sir. All right, bro.
All right, bro.
Good
night to you.
We stay in contact.
Yeah, definitely cut that Wiley Tribe video out of the face.
Oh yeah, I'm cutting that out. I'm also cutting the fact that there's also something at the beginning that I'm going to protect you from. You know, don't worry. I will manage your image in this video.
Please do, man. Niggas need good PR, man. All right, be safe, bro.
Peace out, bro.
Peace out, bro.